gotta hit the beat. I gotta hit the beat, beat. I gotta hit the beat. I gotta hit the beat, beat. I gotta hit the beat. I gotta.
You know, when you're doing the same thing over and over and over, you can't sit around and wait for a spark. But you got to find things that are going to make you constantly inspired and have that passion. You also got to be responsible for your own creative vision, and you have to create that spark yourself. It's such a fun challenge to try to get that vision, what's in your head, onto the final projects. My name is Ron Lee Christensen, Blue Horse Studios. I'm a custom graphics shop here in Vancouver, Washington. Been working with the PC industry and gaming industry for the past 15 years. Excited to be a part of everything that happens within the industry. I got started in PC modding about 15 years ago. I was looking to upgrade my own personal PC because I needed something powerful enough to run like Photoshop and some of my graphics programs. At the time, I didn't really know anything about PCs, how they were built, and I didn't really know anything about what I was doing. And I think I fried my first PC while I was building it, so it kind of forced me to go out and learn. A little spark went off. I'm like, well, I can customize this PC. I can actually paint this. So we're gonna start working on these little inlays, but we wanna really give this a really cool metallic finish. So we're gonna use a little bit of this graphite powder here. And what that's gonna do is kind of give us like a metal surface look. And then once we're done with that, we're gonna take a little bit of gold paint and kind of just go over the top of that, just to give that embossed kind of relief look. We got about 40 of these that we need to make, and once we're done, it's gonna look exactly like this one. Being a painter and sculptor, I was looking for another way to express myself. I just got tired of working on a 2D surface and incorporating the love for PCs and now artwork and kind of putting those two together. I thought would be like a really cool idea and a fun venture for me to express myself. And then I'm like, what if I document this and just put it like on YouTube? Show all my mistakes and all my successes and just capture everything. And I started my first PC mod, which was a scratch build. And then slowly I started to get sponsorships. The first was MMPC Tech and then Thermaltake and Cooler Master, and then NVIDIA and Intel, of course. All right, here at the shop, we do work on a lot of projects that are on strict NDA, and we can't really reveal the full build to you guys until those NDAs are released. But I got a couple projects behind me that I've completed, and they're still in our shop that I would love to share with you guys. First is our Alien build, all Aliens theme. I'm a huge Aliens fan, and if you guys don't know, this was on CPU Magazine cover, I believe, in 2016. And then the other one behind me here is the Half-Life Black Mesa. This one I won my first mod contest on at PDX LAN. All this sculpture and stuff is all handcrafted. These are two of my first builds that are still in the shop and that I'll probably never part with. When I started my first project, I never thought it would come all the way around to where it is now. And it's been such an exciting journey. So these files here, we just 3D printed them on our SLA printer. We got several of them here that we need to get painted up. Great thing about SLA printers is that they do print quite a bit quicker than the FDM printers, and the detail is a lot better as well. You don't really get those layer lines. All right, we're gonna start working on a little bit more on the base here. I got a lot of rocks and kind of cobblestone that I still need to create on this base. But I really like styrofoam because it has all this great little detail, and you just roll it right on top of the clay. And it gives you all those porous kind of indents that stone naturally has. And voila, we got a little stone path going. I love working with studios that allow you the creative freedom and trust you to just do what you do. They're hiring you for a reason and trust that your creative process. I love to be able to have that creative freedom. The Intel projects that we've been doing on a regular basis, the Fall Guys was a really fun project for Intel. And we teamed up with Tristan Eaton to create these awesome Marvel projects and a couple other ones that are going to be coming up as well. Like those relationships for me and projects like that is definitely why we do it. This is my wife, Debbie. She helps me a lot here at the studio. She's my Pepper Potts. So anything that I need that's on a tight deadline, like a mock-up created, she helps me with. She does all the heavy lifting for the shop.
We met in Computex at Taipei, actually. I'm there for work, and he did an airbrush demo. Yep. And got picked up from the audience, tried to do some airbrush. We switched contacts and started talking.
Traveled back and forth to Indonesia to see her for 4 years and finally realized this is the one for me and proposed to her in Thailand and got married in Indonesia.
And then now I'm here.
Yeah, 6 years later.
Just right before COVID.
Things that my wife and I love to do is just to get to the outdoors, take the dog to the park and take it on a hiking trail. You're working in a busy schedule. It's really important to keep a healthy frame of mind, and my wife and I both love to travel. We love, exploring the world and seeing things. And as being an artist, one of my great inspirations that I get is from being in nature and traveling and experiencing different cultures and different ways of how people live and trying new foods and experiences, constantly getting inspiration and passion from other things. These last 2 years with the restrictions of COVID, it's been really hard to actually travel or really do anything. So we haven't been able to go to any shows because the shows have been pretty much all canceled. But now that they're starting to come back, really getting excited to be able to take projects back to shows. The best part about the PC mods is not the projects themselves, it's the actual community. Working with the other guys and girls in the community, working with the vendors, hearing like their creative ideas for projects that they're thinking about. When I'm working with other creative people like that, just really get my juices going. And to be able to take those projects that you've worked on for a few months or a few weeks or whatever, and sharing them with the community or sharing them at an event, when you don't have those connections, or that's half the fun of doing these projects. We put our heart and soul into the builds. There's no words to describe that feeling when you see somebody so happy about something that you created for them. I don't know, I get a little teary right now thinking about it because that's why we do this. That's why I do it, is because I just love to see the happiness and joy in the people's eyes that we create these projects for. I'm just really, truly honored to be part of this whole process.
my gosh. Guys, it is another episode, and this time we have like 35,000 guests. No, I'm just kidding. There's only 3 of us today, but it's going to be absolutely epic. And we have 2 newbies here on Mod Workshop. Not only do we have somebody with pretty much the greatest first name ever to be pronounced in the history of first names. Why don't you introduce yourself?
My name is Justin.
Oh.
That's right. You know what's funny? I actually Googled it a long time ago. You know, Justin was like, well, I don't know about now, but Justin was the 17th most popular name in America.
Yeah, but ever since you and I have been Justin, it's been dropping in popularity because nobody can top the fact that we're Justins.
Yeah, I mean, we have like Justin Bieber, Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, Justin Robey, Justin
Justin
Wong.
Wong.
I mean, there is no other better one than all that sort of stuff. So don't name your kids Justin. The name has been beaten to death by just the sheer amount of awesome that we have today. And then lastly, joining us for the first time ever on Mod Workshop is Skytech Gaming. Do you want to just introduce I just don't want you to be the guy there at the end that's like, who's that guy? He just doesn't talk. He just literally just stands there and looks funny. No, but who are you? And tell us a little bit about Skytech.
I'm Wong with Skytech Gaming. We are a systems integrator out of Ontario, California. And yeah, we're here to build a PC for Justin.
Okay. So that's what's going to happen. There's two PC builders on the show today, and only two Justins. Well, it's like 2 of everything. But I have heard. I don't think that you thought I was listening, but I've heard through the grapevine that Ron, you are very good at cable management. Understand that my audience, like that is one of the things I'm known for. So when we get to cable management, guys, we're going to let Ron do all the cable management, and then people are going to determine where it is. Like, they'll rate you at the end because they see a lot of cable management. So we'll see how it goes. This is where we get to test Skytech.
That's good because I'm terrible at cable management.
So
like I'm the guy that just pushes all the wires behind the monitor.
Yeah.
Type of thing. And then my wife just yells at me and she fixes everything. She's the cable management expert in the family. So I will leave it to you.
And Justin, the thing is, the other thing I heard is that your wife is actually, so you haven't ever done PC building, but your wife is actually quite the PC builder. She likes PC building.
Yeah, she likes building PCs. She was super jealous.
Okay.
So this is going to be like my first time building a PC. But I watched episodes, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So I'm like the screwdriver guy.
Yep.
So I feel like I can't mess it up.
You'll be fine. I mean, between the 2 of us, I think we got you covered. I think you're going to end up with something super, super awesome. And I'm excited because this is also making a debut as a brand new case here on Mod Workshop. We have done a ton of different cases, but why don't you tell us, Ron, a little bit about the case that we are using today?
Yeah, so we're going to be using a metallic gear Neo Cube and...
Oh, metallic gear. Okay.
Yes, this is a Fantex.
Okay, there we go.
Yes. And something that I really like about this case, actually, that I wanted to mention.
Well, first and foremost, it is not a Lian Li 011 dynamic, which is what everybody is going to say immediately. They'll go, wait, what? It is not an 011.
Yeah, so since we are, streaming, a lot of people here are very streaming focused. This is a great case for a 2-system build. You can actually put a second system in the back, a nice, mini ITX capture device type system for a dual system.
You were telling me about that earlier about and I'm like, damn. So this build right here is going to be so good for people that are dual streamers or possibly aspiring dual streamers back at home.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, which is super cool, and I think all in all, it's been weird. Like they've come in and out, but Fantex has always been somebody who loves to do dual system builds, right? Yeah. And so their Ethu Pro line, their Evolve X, and then now their Cube are all great systems for doing that. Now, people are saying, I think, am I saying a name wrong? I am.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's what?
Juan.
Oh, okay. Well, that is completely wrong. So we are going to call him.
No worries.
We're going to call him Tom. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to call him Juan. So sorry about that. I completely missed out. So apologies for that. Terrible host. I am hereby fired. I'm just going to leave right now. No, Juan. So I apologize for that. Thank you for just answering to Ron. I mean, all in all, I think maybe it was the mustache, which is very Ron Burgundy, right? So maybe that's what it was, right? But all in all, Juan, thank you very much. And so Juan, welcome to the show. Even though we called you the wrong name for the longest time, but it's okay, right, Dustin? It's going to be absolutely fine.
I mean, if you watch Stranger Things, no spoilers. Dustin's a very popular name.
It is a very popular name. That is very true. And yes, definitely no spoilers. But man, Tough season. So anyway, guys, let's talk a little bit about what we are doing today. So for those who haven't ever tuned into a mod workshop, and I know probably a lot of your fans who are watching right now are probably like, wait, where's the fighting games? Don't worry, they are coming. What is going to be happening? I like how everybody's like, Ron's Fire. Your name's not Ron. We just changed it.
Okay.
Officially calling your parents and getting that taken care of. But what's going to happen is we're going to build with Justin together. So Juan and I are going to be teaching you some PC building skills.
Nice.
You can then start Justin Tech, because
Okay.
Robeytech's already taken. But then you can start your own thing and start building, and your wife will be supremely jealous of your massive cable management skills. And then when we get to kind of the more like tedium parts, that's when Juan and I are going to take over. Well, that's when Juan's going to take over. You're going to pop on over. You're going to go play some games. Now, what are we playing today?
So this new fighting game just came out last week, and it's pretty popular in terms of like the viewership, and a lot of people are enjoying it. It's called DNF Duel.
DNF Duel. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Tell us a little bit about that one.
So DNF Duel actually comes from an older game called Dungeon Fighter Online.
Okay.
Where it's like a free-to-play game from like Korea. So they made a fighting game from Arc System Works and Aiding, and it's just super freedom. Lots of characters with amazing personalities, like the Berserker, Gunner, Striker, and I would say it's currently the game to play right now, especially if you're a fighting game fan.
Nice.
And I play it on PC. So a lot of the fighting games now I play on is always on PC now, right? Because it's kind of like leading to the future, and also it's kind of what held it down during the pandemic as well, too.
Right. And I know one thing is like we have Evo coming back, right?
Yep.
Like I know a lot of people are really excited about that. You're obviously going to be there, right? You hope? No, you'll be there.
I will be there.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
You just started to like. I started to get a little weirded out. You're like, maybe. I don't know. We're not going to announce it. It's all a secret. You've just ruined my whole life, Robey. No, but yeah. So you're going to go. You're going to compete. All that sort of stuff. You excited about Evo coming back?
Yeah, Evo coming back is like super huge. I know they tried to do the onlines for a few times, but it's just not the same compared to like an offline environment where people are just cheering, want to play games. The energy, it just feels so good, right? So I'll be going there to be playing King of Fighters 15, which also is a new fighting game that came out in early, I want to say February in 2022, so pretty recent as well too.
Okay.
So it's going to be fun times because I know a lot of people are super excited to watch and also participate.
Cool. Scott, you play games at all? Just kidding.
Yes. Unfortunately, not fighting games. So
Okay.
yeah, but yeah, I get down on little games. You know, little Minecraft here and there.
Little Minecraft. What are your thoughts on Minecraft? You have a daughter.
It's funny. He asked me, "Hey, you play Minecraft?" And
Oh, he's like, because I'm really good at the battle.
And I'm like, not yet.
Not
You know,
yet.
eventually, my 3-year-old might eventually want to play some Minecraft,
Yeah.
or she could play some Street Fighter. You know,
Yeah.
I actually posted a video recently, and she was jumping over fireballs.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
Wow.
she seems to like it.
But little do you know, the actual controller, guys, was disconnected, and Dad was sitting behind her going, "Yeah, no, she's totally doing it." No, that's the way it is. It's funny. I actually grew up playing fighting games, so I grew up in Japan. So we were
Nice.
arcade Japan,
Yep.
Street Fighter, big Street Fighter fans, and then so I used to just dominate my brother. And then in my year 10, when I was like 10 years old, my brother finally beat me, and I retired at that moment. I was like, one time, like he beat
That
me
was it.
finally. I was like, I'm done.
The streak is
I was
over.
like, the streak is over. Now at this point in time, if he beat me, I'm therefore done. I was like, well, you want to play something else? And he's like, what? We got to keep going. I was like, nope. And then he was like so mad. So I've officially retired from professional fighting games, but have worked on some, which you guys didn't know, but worked on Killer Instinct and some other ones.
Yeah, we were talking about earlier.
Yeah,
Yep.
which is pretty cool. So excited to have you here. Excited for you to join. We're going to get to know a lot about Justin. We're going to get to learn a lot about Juan, which first and foremost, his name is Juan. Guys, we were mispronouncing it in chat, and you should have gotten it right. So I think it's your fault. And then you're going to get to see some gameplay and some awesome hardware and a beautiful build when it is all said and done. Juan, why don't you talk us through the parts we're putting inside of the build today?
Yeah, sure thing. Do you want me to put them up here?
No, I mean, it's probably, we're actually going to bring up the spec list so they won't get to see it. I mean, we can pretend like you're doing that, but nobody would see it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. No worries. So we're using a 12th gen Intel, 12700K. Very nice for anything that you want to throw at it. We're going to be using Asus Prime Z690p Wi-Fi. So, very nice. I got Wi-Fi there. A 3080 Ti, so again, should be great for anything that you want to throw at it. We're going to be using a Gen 4, 1 terabyte NVMe SSD, so great speeds. great speeds. Again, anything that you want to throw at it should be pretty solid. And we're going to be using a newest generation Asetek AIO for all the cooling needs that we have. And we are going to be throwing in 9 RGB fans, so it should be awesome.
Wow, and then we've got that 850 watt PSU to basically make sure it all works, and so we should be good there. And it's a 360 millimeter AIO, top mounted more. Are we going to do top or side mounted? How are we doing it?
I don't know. Just maybe Justin can decide what he.
Justin's like
I don't know. You guys are speaking of foreign language.
Usually we do top mounted, but again, this is so one thing I do want to mention is that this is something that you can purchase off of the site, right? Like if you wanted to buy this. So we're going to make it as close to a Skytech PC as possible. So Juan is directing us there, but the one thing we are adding is Liam Lee Streamer RGB cables because Justin was like, it better bling. Like, like if it does not remind me of
it needs the bling bling.
Yeah, it needs the bling bling. Like that's super important, right? So we are going to have maximum RGB. So that is the one thing that will be different. But if you were to purchase this, you can just go to skytechgaming.com.
Yeah,
awesome. Find this exact SKU, which is pretty easy. It's called a Prism 2. Yeah, and so you can find the Prism 2, and you can pick up this exact same PC and be just like Justin.
Yes.
The only thing is that it won't be built by Justin and Juan. It will have been built by. Let's say Timmy.
Perhaps it might have been built by Juan.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
It could be.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, so maybe it will have been. Maybe. And so look for he puts a little J on every build. So look for it.
Like a little signature.
Yeah, a little signature. You don't even know, right? Like just somewhere on the build. If you find that, then you know that it was built by Juan in there, or Tom, or Ron, or whatever we decide to call him by the end of the show. But anyway, guys, that is the plan. So why don't we start with the motherboard, because this is like the key to the whole thing. So now, you ready, Justin?
I hope so. You got to coach me.
I got to coach you. Yeah, we don't worry, we will. So why don't we first have you put this on the floor, and we're going to grab your Mobo. I will say, they obviously know that they're doing a Robeytech build, because they brought almost enough zip ties for me to actually finish one out, guys. So we do have a immense amount of zip ties inside of here. It's actually properly labeled for Skytech Gaming. Are these labeled? No. But still, there we go. So we have almost enough zip ties for Robey to actually do a build, which should be good. Okay, so let's grab your. Wow, you got everything in here. I'm impressed.
Thank you.
It's like you build a few PCs or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't you go ahead and pop that open?
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead and take it out. Oh yeah, he's already tearing it. It's like Christmas over here. Nice. Justin's like, yes. And
I don't want to like tear it up, like because I feel like I gotta be gentle.
That's right. It's somewhat gentle, but I think you've watched a previous episode where everybody else was like so like timid with it. So I like that you're just going in. And then go ahead and pop it open.
Okay.
Oops. I'm gonna put this right here for all your extras. And then there we go. Okay, you want to hand me the little static bag? We'll throw that away.
There you
Perfect. Now, one thing I did do, so one thing that we are going to not worry about, is if we go ahead and rotate it this way. Under here is already your M.2 drive. So we went ahead and did that because it was just kind of out. So I was just like, we'll just make sure. So just so you guys know, we will not be putting the M.2 in today, because Justin did it with his mind, which was pretty impressive.
The mind control,
mind control stuff. But now what we're going to do is we're going to install your 12th gen socket. Now, your 12th gen CPU. Now, one of the things that people really love to see is you can actually get this little plastic piece when you close it to jump over the VRM. It's a big thing, like if it happens, right? It's like you're winning the lottery in PC building. Yeah, it's like a huge thing. But what I'm going to have you do is go ahead and lift this and push under.
Up.
Or sorry, push down and push under. There you go.
Okay.
There you go. And then go ahead and lift open that socket. And then we're going to grab the golden wafer here. So this is a 12700K.
I was wondering what that was.
Yeah, so this is actually what this is. This is actually what a wafer looks like when you have CPUs, except for they're bitter. They're much, much bigger. And then each individual one of these is actually a CPU. Of course, there's literally thousands on a wafer. But inside is actually your CPU there. So if you want to take that out.
Okay.
We're all about flash here on Mod Workshop.
You want me to take this out?
Yeah, and then just be really careful. Sometimes they shoot out, and then we can never find them, and then your PC doesn't work. Okay, so now, there you go, just like that. Okay, go ahead and set it face down on the floor. Okay, perfect. What you're going to do is you're going to grab it on the sides with your fingers, and you're going to set it right inside the socket. Like that? A little bit up. So So it goes in the little dimples just like that. Okay, perfect. Now, using your thumb, you're going to kind of push this. So the big thing is like kind of just push it down. Now, don't hold on the thing. So you're just going to hold your thumb, push down, and then push this at the same time. Does that make sense? And we're going to see. Keep pushing. You got to push that all the way down. There you go. Oh, almost cleared it. No, that's not as good.
Is that how it's supposed to work?
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to go. Sometimes we've actually seen them. Oh, you almost there. We got it. Okay, go ahead and close it again. Finish it. You had to get on the top of it. There we go. You've installed a CPU.
I was nervous the whole entire time.
Were you really?
No, because I was like, you're trying to like do like a little touchdown goal
Yeah.
thing. So I was like, all right, when is this supposed to happen? So I'm trying to think when it's supposed to pop out.
See, the thing is that if we don't make it competitive for you as a competitive gamer, like I got to add like benchmarks for you to feel like, how can I get better, right? So when you build your second one with your wife or with your daughter, which is always an awesome experience, by the way.
Okay.
Then you'll know, like you'll be like, oh no, we got to clear the VRM or we're going to buy new motherboards or whatever.
Just like that, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's super important.
That is some ballin' stuff right there.
Okay, so we've got that in. Let's do RAM. So, Juan, where are you at? So, are you a fan of the RAM clicks?
Yes.
Yes,
I love the RAM clicks.
Okay, so this is another thing that people who build PCs absolutely enjoy,
Yes.
and it's just how good the clicks are. Now, I want you to know something.
Mm-hmm.
This sets a precedent for everything else in the build.
Okay.
Okay, so when we do this, you need to click. If it does not click, we do not finish building.
So it has to click.
It has to click. It's
Okay.
like super quick. It's like it's very important. Can I get some like amens in the chat? Just something that shows. Yeah, there you go. No click, no good.
No click,
RAM
no good.
clicks are OD.
Is there a reason why, or is it just for the fanciness?
It's just for the fanciness. This is all about technique. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
technique.
It's like being off, a few frames with your counters or anything like that. Your whole game's trash at that point in time. And this is the same thing. Are you nervous yet? Good.
A little bit. Well, you got one of the most defensive players of all time, right?
Yes.
So it's very hard for me to be flashy, but I can X-copy. I have like a good eye for it.
So let me just say, I'm gonna show you my technique,
Okay.
and then we'll take it out. We're gonna have Juan show you his technique,
Okay.
and then you can determine which technique will take you through
to that part.
to the W at the end. Okay.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to get some Skytech in here, some Skytech technique at the same time. So here's what we're gonna do.
Let me see it.
Okay, here we go. So here's my technique. So what you do is you just basically slip it in like so, and you want to make sure that the label's towards the CPU. Okay. And then using both thumbs, and don't be afraid. Ooh, see, that's mushy. Ooh, this may not be a good click.
So that wasn't a good click.
That wasn't a good click. But that's my technique. And some of it, I will say, no, like all joking aside, sometimes you're just not going to get good clicks because of motherboards and randoms. But let's let Juan have a try.
Sure.
And see what he does, and see. Do you do the same technique, or is yours a little bit different, Juan?
I tend to kind of bias towards the side of the slot that doesn't quite open.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a little bit different.
Yeah.
But
so
you guys
I'll
are
go
learning
on
new
this
techniques
end,
here.
This end first, and then let's see.
Ooh, see, and that was a little bit better. See what I mean? Now, the one thing about his is you end up with the double click. So, like, if you're weak in the knees, sometimes you might just faint because it's too good both times, right? So you just feel it. You're just like, oh.
That right knee giving out.
Yeah, right knee gives out because it's just too good. The one thing about mine, I'm trying to get like that single. You can get them to click at the same time. So those are your two options. What do you decide? How are you going to do it?
Okay.
Here, I'll set the RAM in for you because
Okay.
both techniques start with the same thing.
Okay.
There
And
you
now
go.
I'm just holding it.
Yeah,
pushing
now
it down.
understand, I will tell you this. You got to give it some good pressure, but not too much that you bend the dim and break it all.
I got it, bro.
Oh, that was pretty good. Hey,
that?
yeah, that was good. So a couple things. One, probably one of the most like just go in, balls to the wall, and put it in. Every other one, like people are like, they're just like, but you like engaged, right? Like honestly, dude, good job. Okay, this is going to be an awesome build in general because like he at least went all in, and so we are good to go at least there. Okay, so last thing that we would typically do right here is we would put in the M.2 drive. We're not going to do that in this case because I've already just kind of put it in there because I didn't want to just have it kind of sitting around.
Yeah.
But we do need to put in our
There's
bracket.
Too many parts, huh?
Yeah, it's somewhere. So let's see. We need the Asetek, the mounting bracket for this. Do you see that over there, Juan? Anywhere? Okay, we can't finish. Anyway,
That's
end the show,
behind you.
guys.
That's the end of the show,
Apparently
just
we're
like that.
done. No, I'm just kidding. No, we're gonna find the bracket
your
here.
right.
Did you see it?
On your right.
On my right. Here's the.
The red bin.
Huh? You can grab it.
Down here.
Oh, there it is.
Yep.
Okay, sorry. Got it.
No.
I missed the giant red bin sitting down there. He's like, red bin. Oh, red bin. Okay, so we're using this right here. So what you're going to do, so see how these move? Okay, so I'm going to turn this over like so. And what you're going to do is you're going to move these until every one of these goes in this hole. Does what it make sense?
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of some it's like a little mini game. Do you know which one of these, just out of your, is LGA 1700? I'll let you pull the right one there.
Got one in.
Yeah, this is a mini game, guys. Let's just keep him. That's right. Or Chaos says, Robey doesn't even need to be here. Juan can do this, but Robey's just there for
Chaos.
entertaining.
Yeah, Org's part of our community.
Yeah.
He already knows.
There we go. He's doing it. He's doing it. It takes a little practice. You can get it in there, though. You're doing good.
Am I?
Let's see. Let's give it a gander here. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, you actually had it in there. We're just going to make sure they're on the outside. That's the key part for 1700. But luckily, these can usually just switch through sometimes. So we'll push that one out a little bit. It's always a little fun here as we get this figured out. That one looks good right there for LGA 1700. So actually, great question for you, Juan, as we're basically doing this. And what I'm going to have you do, Justin, is I'm going to have you take these little pillars and you're going to screw them in to each corner. So why don't you tell folks, I think it'd be good while he's doing this, tell us about Skytech. What is Skytech? How did it kind of come to be? Like, what is it like working there? What makes it different?
So Skytech, as I mentioned earlier, is a systems integrator based out of Ontario, California. And we're a relatively young, small-ish company. And basically our mission is to provide both from affordable to high-end gaming systems for everybody. And basically we are a small-ish company. A lot of us are like real big PC enthusiasts, and we like to say that we wouldn't sell people things that we wouldn't buy ourselves. And yeah, pretty much we just want to sell people great computers.
Okay, awesome. And so what are your favorite ones to build? Like when you get a system and order in and it's like, okay, Juan, time for you to build. What's the one that gets like your druthers, your ruffles and your feathers in a ruffle? You're like, oh, I can't wait to get in on this system.
We do also do custom orders. Some of my favorite custom orders are usually the smaller cases. I really enjoy micro and mini ITX builds. I see that as an opportunity for, it's a challenge, you could say, in cable management, but I think I see that as an opportunity for practice to hone my skills and things like that.
Okay, awesome. So it's SFF build. So we need to make sure Skytech, just as an FYI, if we ever do a small form factor build, you guys are back here. We get it. Yes. Okay. So they're agreeing. We've already signed you up for the next 83 episodes going on here. Okay. So what we're going to do here, Justin, is just going to scoot the build over for now. Scoot this over. And then why don't you go ahead and grab your case, because it's time, guys. It's the PG-13 time of the case. If you're okay, we're going to be showing you some naked PCs as we strip the case. Understand if that's a little bit much for you, just go ahead and step out of the room, and then they can come back, and it'll just look like a skeleton.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah, so what we're going to go ahead and have you do is go ahead and unscrew these. Now, I do know Juan took some time already to loosen things up for you, so you can just unscrew those, and we're going to kind of strip the panels. Yep. Yeah, lewd, totally. That's the way it is, guys. That's how it goes. And then they're captive, so they won't come out all the way out.
Oh, okay.
So they'll just, go from there.
So they just hang.
Yep. And then you can keep that one on, I believe. Oh, maybe not. Does this one have to come off?
No, it is if you want to take out the rear panel.
Okay, cool. So go ahead and take it off because we're going to want to remove everything here. We're going to get it as light as possible. And it should just pop off.
Yeah, it should slide out.
There we go.
There you go.
Okay, and then you're going to go ahead and pop open the rear panel.
Unscrew these two.
Nope.
That one just pops off.
You just pop it off. You usually use this side right here. Or does it pop
So
up?
you just slide it
It
up.
slides up like an O in one. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. Cool. Okay, now let's go and take the glass off of the front. So you're going to flip it around. Oh, and just be careful because it pops off the same way as the other one. You just kind of lift up. There we go. Awesome. And then the same thing with the very front glass. It's kind of the same thing. It should just pop up, right?
Oh yeah, there you
Just
go.
like that. Cool. So now we have a pretty much stripped case. Last thing is go ahead and turn it all the way around so the back is facing towards you. Okay, and then you're going to use the world's longest screwdriver.
Oh, this is a big one.
So to go ahead and unscrew these two screws. There we go. It's always good to use really large screwdrivers. And you said you wanted to be like the screwdriver guy, so this is definitely where you are today.
I'm very good at screwdriving.
He's like, I have a master's in screwdrivers. Okay, and then this should like just here. If you want to hand me the screws, put them right here for now. And then if you just want to lift up, it should just lift up. There you go. Perfect. And look what that is. It's a little gift box, which is important because we actually need that.
Okay.
So if you want to open that up, this has got all your screws and stuff. Not that we need to worry about it because we literally have a bajillion of them back here. Juan came fully prepared. Like if you guys are worried about potential PC building apocalypse and you need screws or any potential tools, Juan has got us covered back here. We have enough screws back here to probably build like 300 or 400 PCs, so we're good to go. So even if we lose a screw, we're good. Don't worry, Justin. We're going to be completely okay.
Yeah, because you have so many screws.
We have so many screws. Not that you were nervous about it at all.
No, of course. I mean, it looked intimidating just like looking at this box right here because I'm like, man, that's a lot of screws that we have to use.
Yes, luckily, the only amount of screws we have to use is actually right here in this little thing.
Yeah.
But we're prepared. As you can see, that is a lot of screws. And we got more zip ties, which makes me happy.
That's good. 'Cause
Where do you stand on zip ties?
I don't use them. My wife does.
Okay, so we'll take our Neo Cube box out. We'll throw this into the little box there. Okay, cool. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take the case like this, because see, now it's so much. Oh, wow, look how light that is.
Oh, man.
Isn't that light?
Yeah.
You can just throw it around.
Imagine.
Okay, so we're just going to set it down like this. And then what you're going to do is, Juan, why don't you show him how to put the Mobo inside of the case?
Sure. First, we're going to start with our I/O cover. If you could.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
That's right. We need this.
Yes.
Now, the other thing, too, super important about this. Should you ever have anybody break into your home, this could be a potential weapon.
Okay.
So should you need like a shiv or anything like that, just take your PC apart while you're being broken into, grab this, and you can defend yourself no problem.
Good thing is
So-
I'm usually in the bed. I'm usually in my room on my PC the whole entire time. So this will definitely be helpful.
Yeah, exactly. It does take some time. You're going to have to distract them while you take the PC away. Do stuff like, not yet. I'm taking my PC apart to defend myself,
Yeah.
which sometimes works.
You know, I
but-
can like lock the door. They got to walk up 2 flights of stairs.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's
They're like
enough time.
super winded. They're like,
Yeah, they got to take a break. Like, oh wait, hold on.
he's like, I hope he's not taking his PC apart right now. I'll never be able to defend he's going to be able to defend me. Okay.
So this just basically pops into there. So if you want to just pop it in like so.
And these are solid clicks too.
Yeah, this is a
good,
real
good
solid,
sound. Good
good
sounds.
click.
Look at that white on silver there. Oh, giving it that good. You know, it'll be like there's little there. There you go.
That was a good one.
Big moments. Is it all the way in there, Juan? Want to double check? Oh,
Yep.
one more little bit.
Oh, a little baby click.
Yeah, there's
we go.
probably. I think there might be one more up here. No, is it good there? Okay, cool. Okay, so step one, the one that could have been the worst, which is when you forget the I/O shield, and then you're like, oh no, it's like the worst experience ever. Okay, and then Juan, what's next?
All right, now we're gonna drop in our motherboard in, and it's pretty straightforward. You just kind of line up the standoffs, and then you want to pay attention to your rear I/O, and yep.
So it just kind of fits in. It's like a Lego, an adult Lego.
Yeah.
And that was a bad sound. That's probably fine now.
Oh, First
do
try.
something good?
Yeah, you did good.
Yeah.
That was a good click, and it looks like it's stuck. Okay, one. Looks like we got. This has actually got support for EATX just out of the box then.
No, this motherboard
this
just
is
happens to be
yes,
slightly shorter.
That's a slightly
Yes.
shorter board. Okay, so we could, if we wanted to, we could actually just remove these so that way they don't show, and then that way you just don't have a bunch of random stuff on the end. So why don't we do that just for entertainment value?
Yeah.
So let me find my screwdrivers. Here it is right here, underneath. Okay, cool. So we have this awesome little standoff thing. So we're gonna find the right one here.
This looks so professional.
Yeah, it's iFixit. It's the nope, not that one. It must be this one. There we go. Cool. And then what you're gonna do, you take this, and then it's lefty loosey, righty tighty. So just put it in, and then just pop it out just like that. And then I'll have you do the other two. I'm gonna grab this.
Yeah, you look like Magneto right there.
That's what it was. It was my superpower.
Yeah.
That's what I do. Other way. Other way, you're tightening. There you go. There it is. The good thing is like you also get like a solid workout out of this as well. It's a good arm workout. You want to get super ripped, be a PC builder.
Yeah.
Man, people are really excited about you building today, Justin.
You know why? Because they know I fail at technology super hard.
And today it's not going to happen. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be so perfect. Okay, so next up, what we're going to do is we're going to take our screwdriver, and you're going to find a big difference between Excalibur and this little bad boy right here. So this is your iFixit kit, super fun kit to use. And then what you're going to use is you're going to use this to screw in your screws. You want to grab them the right screws there, Wong?
Yes.
And then, so like I said, one of the things that's nice about this, you can just hold it, and then it rotates.
Oh, okay.
So you can just makes it really easy. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put in a screw here, here, and up here, 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 and here. So there's only 6 on this one, and he's grabbing you a screw, so you just want to grab those and then set them in. This should be magnetic. The screwdriver should be magnetic. Sometimes the screws aren't because they're made from a different material.
Yep.
So you just got to kind of set it in. And believe it or not, sometimes it's like, yeah. There you go. Go ahead and set that down. Perfect.
Oh, okay.
And then you rotate the other way. There you go. And boom, first screw in. Solid job. You're just going to do that with all, find those little holes. Now, when we get to the top ones, we can just rotate the whole case, which is actually really easy. So nothing to worry about there if you just can't quite reach them. And sometimes here, let me show you something real quick, just a nice little technique for you. What you can do is you go like this. You can just use their hand to guide it in. That also works really well. When it's not being, except for when you're a fail like Robey was right there. So just use this. Oh! So, by the way, competitiveness, like you've been doing competitive for a while there. Why don't you tell us a little bit? Have you had some recent victories, or has there been any championships you've played, like in the short term?
Yeah. So during the pandemic, I would say last year, I have a goal.
This one's a little easier, actually.
I had a goal of winning 100 online tournaments.
100
online tournaments in 1 year.
Wow.
So I did that in 2021.
Okay.
2021. And it was fun. I had a blast doing it. And then recently, I was able to go to Daytona, Florida for an event called CEO.
Okay.
Right, and it's like one of the big fighting game community tournaments. And I won 2 events there.
Okay.
And that one got me really happy because I haven't traveled to a big event for at least 2 years, right? And also, since I'm in Canada now, I couldn't go to some other ones because I didn't have a permanent resident card, but it came in recently.
Okay.
So now I can travel to the States whenever I want.
Well, welcome. And that's why you're here today.
That is why I'm here today.
See, that one's actually really nice. And that's why it's I switched it out, because that one's actually being magnetic, so it's actually probably a little easier. Just put it on the end and then pop it in there if you want. But we like people to do it their own way and just have fun, right? This is what it. So far with your experience as you've built thus far, do you think this is easier or harder than you expected?
I think with proper guidance from you guys.
I don't know if we call it that.
Right? It definitely makes things a lot easier. Like, especially when you have somebody like telling you an expert and everything like that. I would say, like, let's say if I had all the parts and I'm just like going off of like a guide, it might take me like longer. Like, it might take me like 10 hours.
Right. I think it took Henry Cavill like 16. So, which took a while because he thought. So it's funny story. I don't know if you watched that whole thing, but he actually used a Z73 NZXT AIO, and when he turned it on, it was upside down. But little did he know he could just change it in software. So he actually removed the AIO and reinstalled it, thinking that was the only way to get it to be correct. So
he had to start over.
Yeah. So he like basically was like no, and then basically reinstalled it, and then I was like no, and NZXT was like they responded to his Instagram with just a face palm because they felt bad. So it was pretty funny little thing there, but it was pretty awesome. So and then so what 2 events did you end up winning at CEO?
It's 2 games called Capcom versus SNK 2 and Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. And then they gave me like these 2 giant wrestling belts. So I was kind of
those are always good.
I was kind of flexing on them on like picture social media and stream. I would just wear them in my stream, like have like 2 belts.
on your. I mean, all in all, I think that's one of the things I really enjoy about the fighting community is the fact that they kind of like adopted the big belts from like every other like championship fighting thing. So which is actually always super fun. So you have a number of belts though.
I have a lot of stuff, a lot of trophies and belts, but I would say they're naturally just in the storage at this point.
Oh, got it. And is it just because you need room for more kid stuff as your daughter slowly begins to take over the rest of the house?
I need more rooms for kid stuff.
Right.
And I actually have at least like 6 arcade cabinets as well too.
Yeah.
Because growing up as a kid, I always wanted an arcade cabinet.
And now you can get them.
Now I can get them. So I'm like, oh, okay. The inner kid of me as an adult has come out, and I decided to buy stuff. It's like Legos, right? Legos are for kids, but are they for kids now?
No.
Right? You have all these different adult Legos, and you're gonna buy them.
Exactly.
You want to build it.
Exactly. Especially Technic. I love Technic. At least that's what I tell my wife. It's like no, they're for adults too.
Exactly,
and so she seems to placate her somewhat, but she's starting to get a little tired of all the unfinished, unbuilt Lego that's sitting in my house. Okay, so. At this point in time, motherboard's installed. We're in really good shape. We can't get it out, which is good. That's a good thing. You don't want this thing just flying around. So what we're going to do now is we're going to route your front panel connections, okay? So these are all the connections that just basically essentially make your PC run. So we have some fun ones here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to route them to the front, and then what we'll do is Juan and I will tag team you hooking these up. So first one we have is our HD audio. That's going to go right here. And then we have a couple RGB things. Now, one for the RGB on this, because we're using the header, and we have the fan stuff that we're going to be doing. Does it matter where we route this? Can I just route this to anyone, or is there a specific one that we usually put it at?
No, you can just route it to the header.
So usually there's one right.
Yes.
There, perfect. Okay.
However, if I may interject,
no, you can do it. This is you built. You built in this way more.
All right. Something I do like to do in this case.
I'm so angry. No, I'm just kidding.
Before I even start plugging in anything, I like to do something called big cables on top. So basically, I just take
cables on top.
Yep. So I take everything.
So let's turn it sideways so the camera can see. We're going to learn what this is called big cables on top, and we'll get out of your way. Don't worry, we can move now. Here it is.
Okay. But yeah, pretty much just pretty self-explanatory. Take all the bigger cables and put them on top of the smaller cables.
There we go. So this is just to make the clump look a lot cleaner. Okay, awesome.
And then I like to take a zip tie and kind of tie it a little bit loose.
Well, guess what? We have a lot of zip ties.
Perfect.
So here we go. Here is a zip tie, and here is some zip tie snips for you.
Perfect.
This is new to me, Justin. I'm not the guy who's usually watching, but this is I love learning just as much as like I said. I've built over 1,000 PCs, and every time I'll meet one guy. Ended up meeting another system integrator, and so when I used to install front AIOs. which I mean, I'm sure that Juan's actually heard of this before, but when I used to install front AIOs and you had 3 fans, I used to remove all 3 fans. And then you'd have like this awkward thing. But what he taught me, he's like, no, just remove a screw from every other thing, then mount the AIO in, and then just replace the other screws. And I was like, that's like mind-boggling. So the one thing I always say is I always love meeting new PC builders because there's always things that you can learn, even after you, in like any craft, right? Like it's like you watching a streamer who plays other fighting games, like you always learn the same thing. So this is me getting a chance to do the same thing. So thank you, Juan, for teaching. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think there's always going to be those scenarios where you can always learn something, right? Even if you're like an expert or a professional, there's no limit to just learning a new thing, like to something that you're an expert in.
For sure. And especially, I mean, like, how many times have you built in this case, Juan?
Oof, probably hundreds at this point.
Yeah, exactly. So, the one thing that he has a ton of experience in terms of probably just even the optimal nature for even building inside of this. Okay, so at this point in time, it's cool to start routing?
So one last thing is I like to take a zip tie, kind of a little bit loose, and then put it near the, what you would say is this twist, not twist tie, but...
Velcro tie?
Velcro tie, a little bit loose.
Okay.
Cut off the tail.
Okay.
And then just hide it underneath the Velcro tie, and it's, it's like it's not even there.
Like it's not
so
there.
It doesn't look like you're using one.
Exactly.
But you are.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's trickery.
Yeah, the
there you go.
That's
massive trickery. Okay, guys, so we have had just a moment of silence. Can we get a F in the chat for our first death? First zip tie death of the build has happened. So can we just get an F in the chat for that? There's the zip tie right there. So we will leave that there just to commemorate what has happened here. Okay, so now at this point in time, we're going to go and start routing cables. So what we got big cables on top. We're going to take our HD audio, and we're going to throw that right here. We're going to take our RGB, which is right here. We're just going to throw that right here, except for I'm going to take this thing.
Yeah, I usually cut those labels off as well.
Shove it way down here, but we'll cut it off there in the end before. And then here's an interesting one for you. So we've got it zip tied. Mm-hmm. We got a USB 3.2, which do you want to just have it run like this?
Yes, that's how we use it.
Okay, so we'll have that run up like that. We don't have, USB-C, which is same place right here. There's our USB-C right there. And then we've got all of our front panel connectors, which we're going to want to cut these off because these are wacky. Ugh. This is where we have all of the stuff. And luckily, we actually know where these are. Some people don't, but we do, which is good. So this is the one thing I will say is if you're a PC builder and then you groom your nails, you're just making life worse for you, but I do groom.
Yeah, so these labels are actually useful for, again, if you want to put 2 systems in there, it'll tell you. You can use the reset button as the second power button for the second system.
That's cool.
Say we're just running our power switch down here, like so. So there's all of our front panel connections. And then this is just if we want to add additional RGB. This is the standard Fantex thing. Yes. And then we have our power right there. Okay, cool. So we've got that. So we've got all those routed. Now we're going to have I'm going to have Juan take over here. Juan is going to show you where all of those cables go. I'm going to clean up some garbage.
All right, so we're going to start from left to right. This guy goes right here. And then you'll notice there's a pin missing, so you want to line it up with the empty spot there.
No clicks for this one, right?
No. Clicks on this one would probably be bad.
Yeah, that'd be a bad
That means
sign.
you've probably broken something in this case.
All right, and then...
And right now, guys, we're not asking questions. This actually has what we're considered probably a high cognitive load at this point in time, where he is focused. We're having Justin focus on just getting these connections in and correct. So we're going to let him get through that. So if there's a moment of silence, understand it's not that we're ignoring you.
All right, so
it's just that we're letting him hook everything up because when you build a PC, you want it to work. So that's kind of important. So yeah, Wade Hill. Yes, we're doing a Neo Q build today, which is pretty awesome. People are asking for the win for the giveaway. Yes, for the win today, you'll want to be here at the end because we have a pretty epic prize that we're giving away at the end of the show. Probably one of the most epic ones we've ever done. So huge shout out to Skytech Gaming for hooking us up on that one. So
These, you kind of want to pay attention to.
Yeah,
these
just
a
make
little
sure
bit.
that you go over and you do exclamation point play
So
in the Intel
the
chat.
power
Head over to
button,
Intel
power
chat.
switch.
Make sure you do exclamation
Most
point play if you
motherboards
want to
are
get entered to win
standardized.
this
It's gonna be
exact build, but in
these two
black
right
at the end of the show today. Just head over to Intel's chat and do exclamation point play.
Yes. So like at the very end, these two.
So here's a question for Juan. 0HP says, RGB should be the bonus, not the central focus. Can we tell them that they're wrong?
You're wrong. like so. So like that.
Yeah, and you guys, you do not need to spam exclamation point play. You just got to go over, push it once. If you want to just do a backup just to make sure you did it twice, but you don't need to spam it. That doesn't help. That just makes it hard for us to interact with you as the audience.
You're going to put that one like perpendicular. Like right there.
This, and just for some people saying this for the Lian Li, this is not the Lian Li. This is actually a Fantex case, and this is the what is it? What's
NeoCube?
the NeoCube? That's right. Yep. So this is not an 011. Yes, it looks like a lot like an 011, but it is not an 011.
It's actually it goes.
Yeah, today's giveaway is on Intel's
So
Intel's
this one's
chat.
gonna
Yes.
go over here.
Oh.
Yeah.
There we go.
then-
BlazeOne being specific, the metallic gear NeoCube in
Yes.
white, and that's white with a
Alright, so
WH.
this one
I don't know what
goes
else that would be in, but yeah.
There. And then the reset goes
Yep.
where the power was.
Okay.
So underneath.
So just so people know, you guys are probably asking what's going on here. Well, so what they're doing right now is they're hooking up our front panel connections, and he's telling them where they're essentially being placed. So right now they just got finished with
directly
power switch. They've hooked up their power plus and minus, and now they're doing, it looks like reset switch, right? That's what you guys just did? Yeah, just finished reset
and
switch.
HD LED.
Yep. So there we're just going through all their front panel connections right now. They've got their HD audio in, they've got RGB in, they've got their front panel connections in. Now what they're going to do, USB-C is next. Let's start with USB-C. What are we doing here, Juan?
So USB-C, you want to look at the arrow on the connector, and then usually there will be a matching arrow on this side. Usually it's on the outside. Then you kind of just want to put it in.
Yep.
Arrows there.
There we go right there. So that's what he's doing. He's just placing his USB-C in.
There you go.
Boom. And that one can be a little bit of a
little
bit of a click.
clicky.
A little bit
Okay.
of click. Now this one's tricky. So this is USB. This is the worst connector on the face of the planet.
The worst connector.
Next to Molex. Molex I think is almost as bad. But this one has the highest chance of potentially building pins. So one's going to show you the technique. It's just about coming in right at a 90-degree angle when you place
so
it.
usually you see the notch here. You want to line that up with this opening right here. And you kind of just want to go like straight in.
Straight in. Yep.
like straight
There's
in
the
like
there.
that.
That's the term right there. Okay, so he's going straight in, guys. Hold your breaths. Hold your breaths in chat. Now, unless you're going to pass out, then breathe a little, but it's okay. If you did pass out, please raise your hand. We just want to know that you're okay.
You know, you say that this is the worst connector, but you know, at least it
There we
stays
go.
in.
Yeah.
The,
Oh,
the
yeah, I
5
got
volt
it.
addressable, you look at it wrong and it pops off.
I will say this though. It stays in, and then when you try to remove it, it takes the whole connector with it, right?
No,
So it's
yeah.
like literally just. It's like yes, you're right. Like you're. I like USB-C. Like USB-C is one of just the easiest.
Yeah.
Though sometimes, like if you jank too hard on that, you can bend that pretty easily. But yes, you're right. RGB is just the worst.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
But for
the
the
best,
fast, though.
But the best payoff.
The best payoff.
The
Worth
best
it.
payoff
Worth
for
it.
sure. Yes, the best payoff for sure. Okay, so we have all of our front panel connections come in. We have all of our front panel stuff in, and everything's ready. At this point in time, what would you do next, Juan?
I would do the AIO.
Okay, so AIO. Okay, so that's what we're going to do now. So we're going to put the AIO together, and so we have an Asetek white AIO, which is good. So when you guys do your installation for your AIOs, where do you place them?
We usually front mount them.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So we're gonna do front mount. So we're gonna do it just like them. So here I'll hand this over to Juan, so we can start the building thing. We can get this out of the way, so you can build it more on stream. And I'm assuming you need three fans.
Yes.
You sure this is not Iron Man's heart?
This is not. It could be. It could be. There you are, sir. There's some fans for you, and then here are your screws. Right here. There you are,
Cool.
sir.
Thank you.
Cool. And here's a
Scissors.
scissors for you.
I usually just kind of.
He just rips open.
I just
he's
rip it
just
open.
barbaric.
He says he already knows where to tear. The
Yeah.
weakest part of the tear.
He's
Yeah.
like after hundreds of these installations, I know exactly where to rip these apart with no issue. Okay, cool. So there he goes. He's getting it prepped.
Do you have like the world record of building PCs?
You know, I've never checked, but
What's like
I
your
hope so.
fastest time?
My fastest time, not this queue, but there's queues that take me about like 20 minutes or so.
Yeah.
That's like the standard area for like
No,
experts?
so it depends. Like if you don't cable manage, so with cable management, the fastest I've ever done with cable management is like 25 minutes.
Okay.
And that's like really clean.
Yeah.
And then if that's with an air cooler, the fastest I've ever just built a PC is like 15 or 17 minutes, and that's just you don't care.
You don't.
Right?
You
just basically just
it
throw
works.
it in and it works. Yeah. And it still like looks relatively. But I have a hard time building without cable management. Like it's just like when it's like literally you're just like I don't even want to turn it on. But yeah, I think most builders who probably build a ton can do it in 15, somewhere around the 20-25 minute mark.
Nice.
Which is nice. The big one is when you can start doing it blind.
Oh, have you tried that before?
Yeah, we've done it. I've never done it on stream, but I've started training for it because I've seen like Bitwit do it in some other ones. I think there are some cases like the NZXT H7, which actually has like a single front panel connection. There are some connections that could be a real pain to do blind, but like certain using certain coolers and combinations would actually be pretty easy. So if you put the right parts together, it is doable when we started training for it. So look forward to the blind build coming up here pretty soon.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. I mean, people are playing video games blind, right?
I know.
Yeah, when you watch like charity streams and everything, they're playing games blind, and I'm like, all right, I guess this is what I have to learn how to play blind eventually too, I guess.
Okay, so Juan, what's next?
All right, so now we're gonna mount our fans, and then we are gonna be mounting these like so.
Okay. So for those folks who don't know what it's like, so the direction he is mounting fans actually does matter because it's determining the airflow as it goes through. Yeah, so as it's going through, in this case, the radiator. So what he's doing is it's essentially there's what's called push and pull, and depending on the fans, like in this case, for high static pressure fans or et cetera, right? Like you may want to place them in certain directions, but that's when he is choosing. He's being very intentional about the direction in which he is placing the fans.
Yes, these will be pulling in air from the outside of the case.
Yep. So now what you're going to be doing, buddy? Back to screws.
Back to screws.
Back to screws. Here we go.
Screws.
You got 12
like 12
to install. I almost failed that math in my head. It was pretty terrible. I was like struggling with that right there. I did builds for NZXT. The hardest thing about it was when they had me do in the refurb department. If the build didn't already have cable management installed back then, the build didn't get it, and it made that's tough. Yeah, he's like basically saying you do a refurb, and then if it wasn't cable manager, like don't spend time cable managing. So he'd be like,
that's painful.
Yeah, it is painful, especially if you really do enjoy cable managing, then it is really hard to not cable manage. In fact, I've been told, and I don't know if you ever want to get into YouTube, Juan, there is a world in which, how like some people, I don't know, maybe people do this. I know people do this. So they watch like pimple popping videos, like when they go to sleep, stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So watch that. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. So I have people who say that they do that. There are people who watch me cable manage to go to sleep. Whoa. Like, so they're just like, because I mean, like cable managing, I mean, if you do like, especially on like a really massive custom water cooled like system, can take an hour and 20 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just me still even doing it fast, unlike some of the showcase builds. And people they find it therapeutic because when it all comes together, it all looks really, really clean. So do you have a system that you did that you think looks the best from your back, from the rear?
That
you're like, this is the one I'm most proud of. Besides Justin's, because Justin's systems will be, this will be it. It's going to be the new level.
I can't say I have a specific one, but I like to think every once in a while I come across one that like, oh yeah, this is the best one so far,
Okay.
I like to think of it that way. Just there's always room for improvement, I think.
Justin, yours is happening today. Your best cable managed one that you get done, you're like, yes, this is the best cable managed one that I've ever done.
I'm excited.
I'm glad.
Flex on your wife.
How are you feeling as you're putting in the screws? Is this like, are you feeling confident?
I'm, like I said, I'm an expert screwdriver person. So when it comes down to the screws, I feel very confident that nobody can match me when screwing down screws.
I love, like, I'm watching your mind work real time right now. You're like, I just think this is, and I like it. Especially as this one screw's kind of giving you trouble, right?
It is, right when I said that. Right when I said that.
You might have to rotate it just slightly to get it to go.
Screws a paid actor.
Yeah, it's like we paid, like basically Juan was like, I'm going to offset this one, so I know he's going to start feeling confident after putting a number of these in, and then let's just check to see if it's actually on. There. Oh yeah, that's probably why. Yeah, let's see. What I like, there you go. Now it's in.
There
that
you
was.
go.
See, I felt. See, did you watch it drop?
Yeah. So
It was like golf.
So Juan, you were sabotaging me right there? Is that what it was?
Juan over here is pulling the wool over Justin's eyes.
But you know,
right here.
I really love this screwdriver.
Isn't that awesome?
It's so good.
So
so
we
good.
have sold so many of those, dude. So I finally got one in my studio, and like everybody is so excited for us to use it because like every time we pull it out, people are like, "That is such a big screwdriver." But you got it. You know, you feel more powerful wielding Excalibur, and that's what we call it here on the show is Excalibur.
Dude, there's times where like the screwdriver I use is probably like this size, and I'm like, oh my hand, it's
it's like cramping up or whatever it was.
Because the grip.
Yeah, for sure. And then Skytech, for your guys' like for the kind of PCs that you can purchase and stuff like that on the site, is there pre-built options? Can you customize? Like tell us a little bit about what some of the options might be.
Yes, so we have a system called Good, Better, Best to kind of give an idea of, I guess to say like, you know, non-enthusiasts, more casual people who aren't really familiar with the technology and the hardware.
Okay.
That can go in and kind of judge off their budget what they can get for themselves. That Good, Better, Best system is for pre-builds. And then we have custom builds. So there we have Mark III, Mark V, Mark 7, and Mark 9. And that is basically just, again, kind of the same system as Good, Better, Best. It goes off of like pricing and budgets. And yeah, it's kind of split into categories to be able to help out people, you know, who are not, you know, like us, enthusiasts and whatnot, who are not familiar with everything.
Now, Justin, your current system that you have now is actually a pre-built. Unlike the new custom system that you're building now, and you now becoming, at this point in time, a stage 4 PC DIY master.
Nice.
Do I get
a certificate?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Yes, the Skytech team is working on that right now. We're going to have a certificate at the very end. It's going to have unicorns on it, rainbows,
Gold stars.
Yeah, gold stars.
I love gold stars.
And it will have a realistic bust of you on it as well. So that they're working on that right now.
Okay.
So you can see them over there. Just they're crafting it over on photo.
I see it. Just straight Monster Hunter crafting right now of like the actual certificate.
I love that game. Monster Hunter is so good. So your first system though, you had a pre-built before. So you actually had one from. We've talked about them on the show before. Origin PC.
Yep.
Great like high-end PC build maker. And that is a good option for some people, right? Who just like they don't necessarily want to build their own PC or have just know it comes out of the box, works, and then you
plug and play, right?
Plug and play, and that's what you need sometimes, right?
Yeah, plug and play, especially if you're like kind of like a casual or like maybe like you want to do like streaming, because streaming I would say got more popular for like the last 2 years,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Or even doing content creation.
A lot of people being at home.
Yeah, being at home, right? So buying a PC is definitely like a necessity at this point, right?
Right.
So the fact that like, you know, like I used Origin, now I'm going to use this one, and then you could get your own, right? At Skytech.
They can build this exact same
You can
one.
build the same one.
And the thing is we actually have gotten and captured Justin Wong DNA that we will be shipping with every Skytech PC moving forward. It's a new line that's going to be coming out, and you can clone your own Justin Wong to hang out with you. I feel like that's a good option.
Like hologram Justin Wong.
Hologram Justin Wong, who will tell you things like, you can do it. And like, I don't know, we'll get some
It'll
quality.
be like, let's go, or you're going to learn today.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Those are going to be the things that it's going to go. It's going to be like for you. Okay, so now we're here. We've got this pretty much put together. What's the next step in the process here for us, Juan?
All right, now we're going to make the cables look a little bit nicer.
Okay.
Okay. This is what I need lessons on this one.
Okay, here we go.
Basically, just going to bring it down, kind of bring it down into one row of cables. And then are you picky about zip tie sizes?
I am.
Yeah?
Yes. The thing is like sometimes when I run out, then I become less picky because I'm like, I'm out of small ones.
Yeah.
But yes, I have a tendency to try and use I try to use the same size as much as I can.
Oh,
the only
really?
place that you never can is on this. Yeah, because then it looks uniform, right? But I have seen some who like will use one size on the spine, one size on like the smaller one.
Yeah.
So yeah. Which I noticed you have a collection similar to what we do.
So
I have like 14 sizes. So yes, I hear you.
For the smaller cables, I like to go like with really small zip ties. So the smallest size I have is what I will use on these fan cables.
Okay.
And then, yeah, just something like that.
I will say this, the more that you build PCs, especially as you start to get, you will start becoming Cirque du Soleil in terms of double jointed because you have to do really weird,
different angles.
People are looking at you and they're like, how are you even doing this right now? Because you have to build the whole system by yourself, so it's pretty funny to watch. I'll watch somebody who does this. Like, yeah, no, this person has definitely done this before.
This
guys, F in the chat. Number two has passed away. He's going to go over here in the collection. If we're over on the Robeytech chat, we're going to go ahead and put up a prediction. Will it be an odd or even number of zip ties used in the build today? Odd or even number of zip ties, just for fun. Make sure you put some channel points in there and have a little fun. Okay, so we've got this done. Next step, I'm assuming, grabbing up the case, and we're going to get this installed, right?
Exactly.
Cool. Okay, so let's grab our case over here. Luckily, it's still light. There we go. So we're still in good shape here. And I'm assuming on this one, now at this point in time, it's probably best to go to the Lazy Susan. Now, you have a Lazy Susan. Okay, so let's go and grab the Lazy Susan, making its Mod Workshop debut, the Skytech Gaming Lazy Susan. And here we go. So we're going to see a little bit of a different technique here.
I was wondering what you saying Lazy Susan.
This is, for all of you home builders, this is a must. It makes it really easy.
Unless you have a top cam, then it makes it really hard.
Unless you have a top cam.
Which is when people watch Robeytech builds, we use a lot of zoom in from the top because it's a little bit easier than using zoom in from the side. But here we are, guys. Today, we're doing it the Skytech way. We're doing it the Wong way. And so I want to make sure that we get that in. Okay, so we got this out. Now what you need, you've got your screws there for mounting the radiator. So let's go ahead and have Justin. This is a big one, buddy.
All right.
You're putting in the cooling.
I'm putting this in?
Yeah.
Where am I putting in?
So you're going to put it right here?
Right here.
Okay. Am I going it this way?
Other way.
Other way.
Just like that. Yep.
There you go.
Oh, look at that. Look at it. Look at him sliding through. He's like a sly guy.
Oh, is it the other way?
No, you can do it any way you want. You are inventing new ways of PC building right now. We're innovating right now, guys. Innovating. Okay, so you're just pulling the cables through. You're doing great, honestly.
See, this is where I kind of drag the cables and
That's
put
fine.
it behind my
Yeah, you're
my
just
monitor.
like, we don't really need these. These, just go and clip them off. You know, who needs these? So where this is going to sit is right against here.
Yeah.
So you're going to face this the other way. Yeah, just keep turning. It's just the
get
way
your
you're going.
cables
Yep, there you go. And I'll help you by pushing these cables out of the way. Yep.
Okay.
And then you're just going to push it right back into here. Nope, into here. There you go. See in the...
Ah, okay.
Okay, just like that. And then what you're going to do is we're going to grab your... And then he's going to hand you some screws. Actually, what I'll do is why don't I flip this over to him, let him screw them, and let's ask a little bit about what are some of the future things that you're going to be doing coming up, Justin? I know we talked about Evo already, but what else do we got coming up that people can look forward to seeing you on the circuit?
Yeah, obviously Evo is going to be next month.
Yep.
So that's going to be exciting just because it's the first big Evo coming back since I would say 2019.
Okay.
All right. So I'll be there, and so a lot of other pro players around the world. But besides that, there's a lot of online events.
Okay.
So I'm currently playing in a DNF Duel 3v3 team event for $10,000.
Okay.
Right. So a lot of times now more things are coming from the online perspective. So it's you could just stay home, play in these events, exhibitions. Like recently, I just won with my other team for Twitch Rivals for the Capcom Fighting Collection.
Yeah.
So a lot of online, and then eventually offline will start to come back. There are a lot of tournaments. There's one in Puerto Rico in October called First Attack that I'm thinking about going to.
Okay.
East Coast Throwdown, New Jersey in September. Maybe a PAX because I'm trying to play Street Fighter 6. Right, Street Fighter 6 is a new game coming out. There's no announced date, but usually I want to say it's around February because that's when usually Capcom releases their things.
And the thing is, you would probably expect it to be playable at PAX, so it's a chance for you to get an early leg up.
Well, I'm also a fan. Right?
Okay.
I'm such a huge this is a.
Well, I mean, I get. The one thing I will say is I've met some people I've met some streamers who want to stream and they're like, I'm gonna be a Fortnite pro streamer, whatever it was, and then they don't like Fortnite.
Yeah.
And you're like, how does that even work, right? Like, if you're not a fan of the games you're gonna play,
man,
you know what I mean?
There's a lot of those questions I get in my chat. Is I want to be an aspiring pro gamer, and I'm like, do you like the game? No, I just want to be a pro. And I was like, to me that doesn't make sense because I grew up in the arcade era,
right?
Where I'm playing these games in tournaments and I'm getting better because these games are fun to me. Right. So I have probably more of an older perspective compared to like now, like young gamers are trying to be like, oh man, you could make money from playing video games. Sign me up.
Yeah, and they're like, and you're like, do you like the game that you're playing? And no, and it's like, well, then that's not. You're not going to want to practice. There's like that passion. Passion has got to be a huge part of being a pro because for you to do the kind of effort and work it takes for you to be as good as you are is not. That's just not something, if you don't like something, you're going to enjoy.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, now we're going to get to probably one of the most fun parts.
Oh, that was so fast.
Thank you.
Yes,
so fast.
He was prepared. I was just over there watching him out of the corner of my eye. I was like, I have about 60 seconds to ask you questions before we're going to be done. But now this probably comes one of the, I don't know, it's like one of the kind of key moments in any build, which is where you get to fasten the cooler to the CPU. At that point in time, it never sees the light of day again. You're essentially burying it alive.
Okay.
But it's all for the good of your gaming. So I'm going to hand him, because I looked like it was on. It had the AM4 one on there. So what we're going to do is we're going to get you set up for this, and this is kind of the last part of the PC build for you, Justin, because once we're done with this and you finish this part out, then what we're going to do, and this is for everybody, is get you guys off, and you get to start playing games.
Yeah.
Which is cool. And then we'll continue the conversation. Don't worry, guys. You'll get to see us, Juan and I, still build, which is mostly Juan at this point in time, which is nice. It's nice for me to have a little bit of a break and get to watch somebody else do this. And then at the same time, I will be sitting there and conversing with you, talking about what's going on, and then just more about your career. So this is, for those who are just huge fans of watching Justin Wong, not Justin Robey, you guys will get to see, well, actually, fan of both Justins, you'll get to see both kinds of content at the same time. Oh, you're doing something interesting. Yes. Okay, so you're actually running, so I do want to, here, let's zoom in on that a little bit, because that was a nice little technique. So what he's doing is he's managing his cables a little bit differently than I do. So what he does is he runs his under, and then this is how he's going to do the fastening. Okay,
How do you do the Robey way?
Okay, I do it afterwards I literally make it look like a single cable.
Oh,
coming off at the top, so it looks literally like there's only one cable, no matter what AIO I do. Yeah. But it depends on. Sometimes it has to be like I do something like that where I want to plug in the pump head and stuff like that. So it all just depends.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah, but I like I said, I love highlighting new ways. So this is something different. Cool. So here we go. So Justin, you ready?
You ready?
Okay, what am I doing?
So basically, you're just going to be dropping it in, but yeah, you want to be holding that. And then you're just going to be lining up the holes with the posts.
The holes are over here. Okay. Does it matter like which angle?
Typically, I want to face it downwards.
So his hose is down.
Okay.
Yes.
And right now, the other thing that would also make the folks... Yeah, let's see if we can spin it a little bit so they can see it. One thing I would say, the folks at Gamers Nexus are really happy because they're seeing tubes up on the AIO, which always makes people in chat happy. Even though they never really watched that entire episode, they watched like the first 8 minutes, and then from there just became judges. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to help you, Justin, real quick. I'm just going to reach over here and put one in, so that way you can get this trapped, and then I'll have you put in the other ones. There we go. And then just stay right there. I'm going to put one in the bottom corner. If you want to raise your hand the other way. Then you can put the rest of these on. We're just screwing on the screws right now.
The Iron Man's heart.
Yes, Iron Man's heart. There we go. Okay, cool. Now, you can do the other two. Here you go. That one's going to go right there in the corner. And then the last one is going to go on the other side. Cool. And that one's going to go right there. And then what we're going to do is you're going to use Excalibur to tighten those all the way down. There we go. Okay, so that's what you guys have just seen us basically get the cooler installed onto the CPU. Primary, obviously, focus of this is to keep the 12th gen 12700K under nice, cool conditions. Now, given we're getting super close to a break, we're going to finish out. Why don't we go ahead and run through the parts one more time, just to kind of run through people what we're actually putting inside of Justin's system today. So what we have is we have the Intel 12th Gen 12700K. We have that Asus Prime Z690-P Wi-Fi. It's got Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.2. It's got all the bells and whistles that kind of come with it, including a PCIe Gen 5, which is why we have a Gen 4 Aorus 1TB NVMe SSD. We've got the XPG DDR5 RGB. I think it's 5200 megahertz. We've got that Skytech Prism 2.0 metallic gear in white. Thank you very much for calling that specifically part out. We've got the Skytech AIO, which is an Asetek AIO, 360 millimeters, which is going to keep your 12700K absolutely cool. And then we've got the Cooler Master V850 Gold V2 White Edition. And lastly, we've got the Lee & Lee streamer, both the double 8-pin and a 24-pin, that we're just going to add that extra bling that Justin really needs and wants and desires inside of his PC.
Yeah, I just want to make sure the wife gets jealous, right?
Yeah, that's
the most important
part. Need, right? And she's already jealous, which you said before,
Yeah,
right? And that was the other part that was important. So Justin, take a look at your PC, because this is where you're going to leave it. Guys, we're going to be going to an 8-minute break right now. What we're going to do is we're going to get Justin transitioned over to start playing some games. Before we leave, there was a game that you were super excited about, though, that's coming up.
I would say the game that I'm super excited about that has no release date and barely any information about is Project L from Riot.
Yeah, and that will be on PC. And one of the things you're really excited about having a PC of this caliber.
Yeah, I would say for just like the future of fighting games, it's looking very bright.
Good.
Especially with Street Fighter 6 coming out, that's also on PC. And then Project L is going to be definitely on PC. Not sure if it's on other things, but yeah, like if it's a Riot game, it's going to be on PC, right?
That is very true. Anyway, guys, people are saying loving the mustache Ron Burgundy.
Thank you.
Even though I call him, but that's why I was calling him Ron instead of Juan. But anyway, guys, we are going to be back in just about 8 minutes. Get everything transitioned, and then we'll come back and we'll finish this PC and we'll play some more games. See you guys in 8.
Where you come from and what your family gave to you. And something that my family has given to me is my palate. When I make a latte for somebody, it's something I really care about. It's something I made from my own palate that my family passed down to me. And I'm able to serve that to the community in a way that makes them feel loved, that makes them feel cared for. And it's really special. It is. It makes my job worthwhile. It's really just utilizing all of the gifts that my ancestors gave to me and serving that to make people feel cared for.
My name is Erica Escalante, and I'm the owner of Cafe Reina.
I'm a barista, a baker, a mommy, and a gamer. I was born in Temecula, California. I come from a Latin family. My dad's family is from El Salvador, and that is really important to my upbringing and my culture. I have always loved playing games. So every few Christmases, my family would all pitch in together and make sure we got a new console for Christmas. You know, it was really special because even from a young age, we knew that my parents really couldn't afford that, and that it was a gift from many different family members, and that they all pitched in so that we could have a gaming console.
Hold on, let me make sure this isn't too much coffee for this.
There we go.
You got it? Okay.
I've loved coffee for a long time. I remember drinking coffee at home with my mom with cream and sugar, and then as I got to be a teenager, we would go to the Starbucks, and it was really expensive, and so we could only go every once in a while, but man, I was hooked. I thought it was the coolest place. And so right after high school, the first place I went to apply was at Starbucks.
Whoa.
Look at that. What do you think? Wow, look at the cake. Wow. Oh.
So after high school, I knew I wasn't going to be able to afford to go to college. My parents helped me find an internship with an old friend of theirs up here in Portland, Oregon. It was a lot of kids and a lot of older people, but there wasn't a lot of people my age except for one person, and his name was Trevor. He was kind of like a quiet, nerdy, nice guy, and something I really loved about Trevor was he really liked playing games, and it's just really sweet when you find someone who has the same level of gamer that you do, and our level of gaming seems to match each other, and that's just really special and sweet. Okay, you're supposed to go down now. No?
Wait.
No?
Yeah. Now
Okay.
you go.
Oh, I see.
I'll slide down
Well,
here. Right?
no. Okay.
No. No, I think you have to jump over, right?
I don't know.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
You let me go down this
All
thing.
right. We'll show you our wedding cake right here. Settlers of Catan was on the bottom,
It was
which is
a
a
cake.
board game. This is a cake. What father of the groom wears a short sleeve collared button up to a wedding?
See, to me, that's like the most endearing thing that he could have worn.
Oh
I
my
love
God.
that. We look so different, don't you think?
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
I like myself more now.
Yeah, I like myself more than that too.
These are conchas. Vegan conchas.
Pretty good.
I found a job near the small church that I attended, and it was a small Hawaiian tiki themed coffee shop. A couple years went by, and the owners were working other jobs, and they just really needed to be done running the coffee shop. They asked me, like, hey, are you interested in taking over this coffee shop because we're done? I said yes. I was 21 years old. Trevor and I had just gotten married 2 months prior.
Yeah, I'm doing it. So.
You know, the cafe has always been my thing. It's not really been Trevor's thing, but I've just needed so much help. And so even when we first got started, I would train Trevor as a barista and get him behind the bar to help me out. And he has worked throughout this company many, many, many days. And so even now, he'll come and help on the weekends. If we're short-staffed or we just need an extra hand, he'll be here to help me bake, to barista, to work the register, whatever I need. He's always been willing and available to help. I was able to expand into Portland into a bigger shop. And eventually, as I grew older, my business also kind of matured and created its own identity as Café Reina. It means coffee queen in Spanish. And I'm really, really proud of the brand. I'm really proud of our vibes. I really understood as I got older how sweet my heritage is, and I was able to infuse that into what we do here in the cafe. I love it, people love it, and it's just fun to show off my family heritage. You know, as the years gone on and our family has grown, we have 2 kids now, we still love to game together. We still take time every evening almost to play games. Now our kids are getting into gaming too. Our oldest loves to play video games with us, and I'm sure our youngest would too. She loves to watch while we play. The pandemic was obviously really hard for kids because they couldn't go to school and they couldn't play with their friends. So Geely would call or FaceTime her friends or her cousins, even from out of state, and they would log on together and play Minecraft together for a really long time and spend time together that way. It was really, really fun. We have our Predator Triton 500. It's really awesome for gaming, and what's great about it is that we can all game at the same time now. So if I'm playing on the console, Trevor's on his computer, we still have another option to kind of either play together, or 2 can play together and 1 can play their own thing. But it just gives us a lot of options for what we can do and how we can spend time together. I haven't played a lot of Destiny, but now it's really nice when Trevor wants to play that I can play it side by side with him using the laptop. It's super nice that the laptop has all the power of a desktop, but then it's mobile, so it's great for work stuff. I definitely use it for like accounting purposes and all the different graphic design you have to do for a business, so menus, signage, all the different things. It works really great with all that. As I've been raising the kids, I've just realized how important community and culture is to me, and how important it is to teach them about their place in the world. And so it's been really important for them to know their extended family, to be around them, to learn from them, to be loved by them. And so we made the hard decision that it's time for us to move back to Southern California. You know, as proud as I am to create this business and to create Café Reina, what's most important really is for us to be with our family and raise the girls in the culture. Man. I think I'm most proud of creating that place that I loved when I was a teenager, like creating that sense of belonging for other people and for myself. When I was a teenager, I wanted friends, I wanted connection, and the coffee shop gave that to me. And so now it's like I'm giving that to others. I've been in LA for a couple months now. I'm getting settled in and I'm having a great time. I am loving being back. It's been really great to be back in the sunshine and being able to reconnect with friends and family and honestly just to have time to myself. I am the head of retail for a coffee company here in LA. My job is basically to create a roadmap for them to open up their first retail location and then more retail locations down the line. The kids aren't here yet. My oldest wanted to finish out the school year, which is totally fair. We've just been finding ways to connect, which has been fun to play video games together and spend time together that way. Cafe owning to a lot of people seems like a dream, and it was my dream for a very long time, but my dreams have changed. I'm just really proud of myself for having the courage to change directions and pivot according to what I wanted in life and what I thought was best for me and my family. Someone once told me, if your girls were in the same position, what would you tell them to do? What advice would you give them? And so when it comes to making these really big decisions where it feels maybe a little selfish even, it's like, what would I tell my girls to do? And I would tell my girls that it's okay to change, it's okay to pivot, and it's okay to have new dreams. And we don't necessarily need to worry about the sunken cost of the time that we've already put into it. If you're ready for a change, then you should make the change.
Sorry, we were nerding out. We were already like, that's the thing, is like you put two PC builders together and already we're like, oh yeah. So temperatures with side mounted versus top mounted and like all this other stuff. But like honestly guys, I'm having such a great time and I super appreciate having somebody like Wong on the show today because not only do I get a little bit of a break just to watch somebody else do it, and obviously you have done this a lot, but also just getting a chance to see you guys seeing like when Skytech goes and builds PC. This is the kind of love they want to put into putting a build in, right? Like this isn't, like you guys said, like I was chatting with the team beforehand because there's a couple other people here. Like you guys are PC enthusiasts, right? This is stuff like you wouldn't sell something that you wouldn't have yourself. And so in a lot of ways, you're like, this is if I was building a PC for me. Mm-hmm. Except for yours, would you do all white? Like, what is the Wong color choice?
I'd throw some black in there, a little bit of black, you know.
A little bit, so more like a panda build, stormtrooper type, stormtrooper type thing. Are you panda or are you stormtrooper? Which one do you? Where do you reside? Because they're called Stormtrooper? Yeah. Okay, there it is. Learning a little bit about his personality. So we've learned that he's a serial killer. That's what we've determined based on the few questions we've had. But always love having white builds because when you turn them on, just the RGB shows everywhere, and it's so pretty, and you guys all cry, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. So what do we have left? So we've got AIO's in. Justin did a killer bang-up job getting that mounted. So we got 6 more fans to install. Mm-hmm. We've got a GPU to install, and we've also got a PSU to install. Mm-hmm. So where are we going next?
Typically, I like to do the fans next.
Okay, so let's do it. I'm going to grab you all the fans. Justin, hold on, what? This just in. Justin, are you ready to play some video games?
Yes, I am. I'm already playing.
He's ready. Oh, look at this. He's like, you know what? I don't even care about the PC build anymore. It's about me playing games. And look at that concentration. Look at him. He's 100% focused. He doesn't even, we don't even matter anymore. We don't even matter.
His own element.
He's in his element. So, okay, let me grab you these 6 fans while you're adding it. And then, Justin, when you stream, because I'm assuming you stream as well, right?
Yeah, I stream on Twitch.
Do you talk a lot when you stream? Like, how is fighting games, talking, and playing at the same time?
I'm pretty good at talking and playing at the same time. I was actually wondering, do I talk a lot, or do I let you talk and while I keep quiet and playing.
So I will let you know that. So when I first started on Twitch, I had 500,000 subscribers. But the more I talk, the number just goes down. So I think maybe it's probably better for no, I'm just kidding, for us to talk in the same time. I watched you there a little bit at the beginning. So the character you're playing, tell us a little bit about him, kind of abilities, and why do you choose the characters you choose when you play?
So I'm playing Hitman. What I like about him, he kind of gives me like that. You ever seen that movie Taken?
Yes.
Right? So he's
Liam Neeson.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me of like that, just because of like he's a hitman. And what I like about him is that he has really good range. Right? Good range, good pokes, and everything like that. So that's the really cool, fun part. But what's crazy about this game is that this game is super crazy. Like right now, I'm getting smoked by
this striker. I was saying this does not seem like quality. You got beat.
I did get beat there because right now we're playing on ranked matches, and this is like on like one of the highest levels.
Okay.
So we fight a lot of like really good players on the ladder right now.
So do you like playing? I mean, like, do you mind getting beat? I know I don't
mind. Yeah.
Yeah, I've met some people, right? Like we've had some people on the show, and one individual comes into mind where they got beat, and they were like super angry. But for the most part, like, you don't learn if you don't get beat. Right?
Yeah, you have to lose to get better.
And then what is it like, Justin, because you play so many different fighting games? Like, do you feel like that hurts your ability because you switch so much, or do you think it would be better if you like were proficient in just one?
It depends. Like I personally love playing multiple fighting games. It's just fun for me.
Right.
So it just depends on everybody else, really. But I'm a big fan of playing a lot of fighting games at the same time. So like usually at tournaments, you'll always see me play like 50 games at a tournament.
Whoa! Look, you had a gun and oh wow, it's got like an animated finisher.
Yeah, that's my awakening super right there.
You think she's gonna live through
that?
No,
she's gonna die. She's gonna die from that.
It said KO though, so I mean that means that she probably went to the hospital, maybe had a couple breaks and screws, and she's fine. Like, guys, it'll be okay. Don't be sad. So the other two is it just like you get up in the morning, you've got like a vibe, and like then that determines what you play, or
I'm kind of random. Like I would say like I'm not a variety streamer, but I'm a variety fighting game streamer.
Got it. It's funny because I was gonna get there, but you stole my line. So if we can just go ahead and cut Justin because he's stealing my lines, taking all the great things away from me. I think that's actually pretty cool because most streamers, most of the guys who we have met, and we've had one, maybe two fighting ones on the thing before Mod Workshop, and they're very focused on a single game. So I think it's a lot of fun to see somebody who plays a bunch of different fighting games.
Yeah.
Now, do you ever jump on a fighting game like, Blad's Blue or whatever it was, and then you start to play, and then you're like using combos from like, Street Fighter instead, and you're like, oh yeah, I got to kind of get into the zone a little bit? Or
I would say a lot of times there is the fundamental aspect. Like once you learn how to play one fighting game like well, and you want to play a new fighting game, you're gonna take what you learned from that previous fighting game and try to like incorporate that, right? At least for a little bit. Most fighting games, like it's always gonna be different because just the mechanics is always different, but there's always something to take,
right?
To bring to the table.
And then there are some that break outside of that, like that norm as well, right? Like there are some ones that like just basically break the mold that are out, like that could have like completely different, like whether that's counters or whatever it is, right? That do change, that take it outside of that formulaic, that could be like harder for you to pick up knowing that you have so many other fundamentals, right?
Yep. No, that makes perfect sense right there. Because a lot of people, they have issues with juggling different games.
Yeah.
Right? But the thing about it is if you want to learn how to juggle different games, it's like, I would say the one thing I would recommend is don't play similar archetypes of characters. You always want to play somebody different.
Got it.
So you don't like kind of like go to the other game and be like, oh, I'm doing the wrong combo, I'm doing the wrong strings or anything like that.
Okay. So one of the things that I was talking to Juan about and what he would like your help with, Justin, is a Minecraft fighting game. Like that was like he's trying to become, Juan said, and I quote, "How do I become Justin's best friend, but I don't play fighting games?" And he's like, what if Justin helped me make a Minecraft fighting game? Would you be interested in Minecraft fighting game?
They have Minecraft Steve and Smash Brothers.
Oh, that's right. But that's like a guest appearance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like you went to, like, you may love Liam Neeson in Taken, but then you only saw him on Jimmy Fallon, right? Like it's not really, the same thing, right? So
No, yeah, you're right about that.
yeah. So the thing is like what he needs to know is, would you be willing to sacrifice the next 8 to 9 years helping him develop this dream? Because he's gonna quit right here on stream and start building this. Stop building your PC and start building this Minecraft Street Fighter game.
I'm down.
Please?
Okay, he's in.
Oh, perfect.
He's in.
Glad to hear it. All right,
He's
great.
walking off. Your PC's not gonna get done.
All right.
We're gonna build the game instead. Awesome. And then, what are in your primary rotation right now for the games that you're playing? What are the primary fighting games that are in your rotation right now, Justin?
I'll say right now DNF Duel, King of Fighters 15, and a bunch of old games. I do pay a lot of homage for a lot of the old titles, just because it's kind of what I grew up on.
Okay.
And they've been pretty fun.
Okay, all-time best fighting game.
Marvel's Capcom 2. Have you ever played it?
No.
So Marvel's Capcom 2 was the last really big arcade release for the Marvel versus games.
Okay, so Marvel versus Capcom.
Yeah,
2.
Marvel versus
Okay,
Capcom.
yes,
2.
I have played that. I thought you said Mars. I was like, Mars. I was like, I didn't even know there was
Marvel
a.
versus
And
Capcom
yes,
2.
I have played Marvel versus Capcom 2. I actually had an arcade cabinet for a while for Marvel versus Capcom 2.
Yeah. So the thing about that game is that you can't actually buy it anymore.
Yeah.
You have to buy the Dreamcast copy or
Right.
a PS2 copy. But in terms of any other copy, on the Xbox 360 or PS3, you can't buy anymore.
Right.
Because they discontinued it.
Right.
So it's one of those games that really made my name pretty out there because they had so many tournaments growing up.
Right.
Playing in that tournament. So it was super fun to me. I still play it to this day.
Okay.
Just because I think the best part about it is that there's 56 characters and creativity is out off the roof when it comes to that game.
Right. Yeah. No, for sure. Now, when you play it, do you have the arcade? I'm assuming that's what you're playing it on, or do you play it on console or whatever it was?
Yeah, I actually play it on console.
Okay.
I don't have an actual official arcade cabinet from back in the day because one, it's super huge.
Yeah, it was. That was the best thing about it. It was like a showpiece. I told my wife, I was like, who needs a coffee table when you have a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 cabinet in the middle of your living room, right?
I think the crazy part about it is there's no official artwork for that game.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So because there's no official artwork for the game, people arcades everywhere just made their own custom Marvel vs. Capcom 2 cabinet.
Oh, I did not know that. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so now we know your single favorite, top tier game. Favorite fighting character of all time.
Favorite fighting character of all time, probably.
Minecraft.
Man, that's tough.
That was just for you.
Imagine what if I said that.
I mean, honestly, I think Juan would literally just faint.
Yeah, he would have lost. He would have lost it.
He would have been like, "Oh, he's the greatest," and then just passed out.
I would say probably Chun-Li.
Chun-Li. Okay.
Yeah, because one, the crazy part about it is anytime I see a Chun-Li type of character, even if it's not Chun-Li, maybe a clone, I would usually gravitate towards those characters.
Yeah. And what is it about her mechanics that you like? Was it just the being able to mash on buttons and get the hurricane kick, or what is the stuff that you, or no, what was the name of her multi
lightning leg?
Lightning leg. That's right. Yeah, hurricane kick was.
It's more of just her style. She's so graceful. She's always going to be a super fast character, and I'm about the mobility of the character. So besides her being just this, amazing character that just never ages every time there's a new Street Fighter game that comes out. I just love how she just moves around, how she controls the game, the pace of the game, just the way she plays.
Yeah, and that's an interesting one. I saw some other names show up in there. Somebody said Akuma, I know, which is a very popular one from there. Where do you rate what's number 2 and number 3 then? Because I think it's always easy to have your first. But let's go one level down, Justin. Who's number 2 and who's number 3?
Oh man, I would say number 2.
Minecraft Steve. Nope.
Would probably be actually Storm from X-Men.
Whoa. Okay.
Right, because she was playable in X-Men Street Fighter, X-Men Children of Atom, a lot of the Versus series games that she was very good in. So every time their Storm is available in those Marvel games, I'm always playing her.
Okay.
So that's another one. I would say another character that I like to play is probably going to be Akuma, actually.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
There it is. Okay, so somebody's you've just validated somebody in the chat. They're literally, they have just now deleted their Twitch account. deleted their YouTube account. They're like, I've been validated forever, like, you know. But somebody says that was unexpected, okay? And somebody's saying lies. Why? So why Akuma? What is it that you liked about Akuma? Because people don't believe you.
Well, the thing about Akuma is that in the game called Ultimate Mario Capcom 3 that came out, I won Evo for that tournament for 2014. So because of that, I used a team that was not part of the meta at all. Like I literally played like this is my favorite team. This is my favorite characters in this game, and I'm gonna just make it work. And then I won Evo with that team, which the team was actually pretty not in the meta. I'm probably the only person in the world playing that team because I'm like a huge fan of those characters.
Okay. Well, some people are asking. There wasn't an update on the PC build, and they miss you, Juan. They miss your Ron Burgundy mustache that actually I think he got from watching Top Gun 2.
Okay, great movie.
Top Gun 2. I think he was actually like because Rooster, right? Like he was like, how can I be like PC building Rooster? So like he's working on his 6-pack and that stuff too.
Yeah, that's on the way. That's on the way.
We were gonna show that, but it would be too hot to handle here on a family-friendly show.
Yeah, shout out to Sky TCO.
You can look for that. You can look for that over at the Skytech Gaming OnlyFans site if you want to get in on that from there. But what are we doing now? So it looks like we've got 9 fans. So this thing is essentially a vortex of cooling at this point in time.
And RGB.
So like we have all of the colors. Now I don't know if you know this, Justin, but every individual RGB LED adds a single frame to the overall performance. And given we've got 2.6 bajillion RGB LEDs in here, you are going to have unlimited frames for all of your gameplay moments.
Nice.
Yeah, so I think you're ready.
I'm going to need that for obviously Street Fighter 6 Project L. But one game that's like non-fighting game that I like to play a lot, or which I've been playing a lot with like my viewers and my Discord, is Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak.
I love Monster Hunter.
I'm a huge fan of that. So I've been playing so much of a Sunbreak, and I want to play more of it.
I will say the Monster Hunter series actually does have a lot in common with fighting games, right? Because there's a lot of counters, figuring out approaches, all that sort of stuff. So I could see why you like that in that way.
Yeah, you know what's crazy about this is like you do have to like have really good reactions to kind of like roll from like monsters' attacks,
right?
Know the patterns. But for me, it's just I don't know. Like I get so indulged, like I'm like a fly, like a mosquito from like a bug zapper type of thing. Like I see the dinosaur, I see the monster, and I'm like, oh man, he looks so cool, and I want to bring him down. I want to make the coolest weapons in the world type of thing.
Yeah, my like it's funny because there's a monster that I really like. And I'm trying to think of the name of it, and it's got like the greatest name, but it's like the Kobe Luwak, and then there's never mind, that's a coffee. That's actually made from lemur poop, believe it or not. No, it's like we used to stream it. I used to stream it with a friend of mine, Jez Corden, all the time, and there was Monster Hunter World at the time.
Okay.
But I love the monster designs in there, and so super great game, and I think that's awesome. Yeah, the Pookie Pookie. Yeah, that's
what you like.
Oh, I just like the names. The names are so good. You're like, we're hunting Puka Puka. Come on, and anything that has a hard K in it is always fun to say, right? You know what I'm saying? Like Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
Yeah. Like anything that has a hard K is always going in there. I'd love to know, what is your favorite monster to hunt?
Favorite monster to hunt? Man, you know, I feel like there's just so many, but I really do like this new monster that's in Monster Hunter Rise.
Yeah.
Right, and pretty much it's the spider monster.
Okay.
Arachna something with Rachna something.
Somebody's asking, so Negirl Sushi says, how do you know about poop coffee? And so really interesting thing about Kobe Luwak coffee is some of the most expensive coffee that you can purchase. It was discovered at some place where coffee's really famous. And so, like, if you go to like a high-end steakhouse or whatever, it's usually like a staple of that place. And when you read about it, which we didn't know at the time, I was like, why is this coffee $45 a cup?
Yeah.
Right? And it is because these lemurs they eat the coffee beans, and they also eat from the cherry trees, and there's something about as it runs through them and then they poop it out, like then they would re-pick them up and roast them, and it makes the most incredible coffee. Now, how somebody discovered this no bloomin' clue because it's really gross. But yeah. So and I'm having people like sign me here who are like coffee fans who are like, it is so incredible. So that is how I've learned. My wife is a huge coffee fan, and so when they had the option, she tried it and she's like, this is the smoothest cup of coffee I've ever had. Juan, where are you at on coffee? Are you a coffee fan? I like milk that tastes like coffee, but so I'm a latte guy. But what about you?
I used to really love coffee. Unfortunately, growing up, it kind of does not great things to me. Okay. So I'm kind of backed off on coffee.
And to get a six-pack like you want, and to be in Top Gun 3 like Juan wants to do, you know what I mean? So Juan, what would be like if you were going to be in Top Gun? What would be your call sign?
Ooh. Tough. You put
not
me
Bob,
on the spot.
Right?
You put me not Bob or Rob.
So what do you think? No idea?
You know what? I'll have to come back.
Oh, he's going to have to come back.
Yeah.
He's going to have to come back to it. So we're going to, I think, Justin, if you had to have a call sign for, for Top Gun, what would your call sign? What would be the call sign? Now, understand, if you know anything about fighter pilots, you actually don't get to choose your own call sign. It's chosen for you. But if you got to choose,
like a code name.
Yeah, like it's not a code. Like it's like Maverick, Rooster. They usually give them from somebody else. But for you, what do you think yours would be? Somebody said you should be Don Juan.
Don Juan.
That's actually his OnlyFans name.
Man, I don't know. I would say, I guess from my playstyle, it would be kind of like a lame name.
Like Defense or Turtle, something like that.
Oh, Turtle, yeah.
Ooh,
Turtle's
that's
good.
a good one. Ooh, I like that name.
I like Turtle.
Turtle.
Because all I do is Turtle in games.
Yeah, so there it is, guys. He's Turtle. Justin is no longer Justin. You just call him Turtle. No, that's great. I think if you could, not only that, but that's a great name to say over the intercom. Like, hey, Turtle. We're going to do a negative G pushover. And,
like Turtle.
Yeah, Turtle. Go Turtle. Use your AMRAMs and Turtle. So people are all like, and people seem to like that.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna come back to you. You're not off the hook, Juan. You're gonna come up with a really cool one. And honestly, Justin came up with a really good one. So it has to be as good as Turtle.
That's a tough follow-up.
Yeah.
Like I just turtled the win just right now.
Yeah, you did. Oh yeah, nice. There we go, right there. This is Turtle coming in hot. This is Turtle. Requesting a flyby, and that's a negative Turtle. The pattern is full. Okay, so what are we doing here? You just seem idle.
All right, so I finished installing these fans, and now we're gonna go ahead and route all these.
It's time for the cable management. Look, look at this, look at this face right here. Like, look at him. He was like giddy. He was like, we, Robey, are about to route cables, and it is going to be the greatest moment of your life. Justin, you're going to have the best-looking cable-routed PC here in a minute. Now, Robeytech fans, this is your chance to check out like some different somebody who has the same level of passion as I do in terms of cable management. Now I have one other friend, and he is actually I think I'm a pretty good cable manager, but there's a guy who works at Origin. His name's PJ. He is the best I've ever seen. He is so good that you would open the back and you can't find cables.
Wow.
Yeah. So we'll have to show you some. If you guys want to see if you want to see his machine, actually on Unbox Therapy, he did Big O. So Big O was that one that has everything included. But he's the guy who was doing. PJ is such a great guy. That's the thing is you are having now I've got to meet other high-end SI guys. You are now in that same realm as just awesome people that I've got to meet. So Juan is this cool, or Ron, or Tom, or whatever we decide to go from there. But yeah, no, it's been a real.
Call sign, not Ron.
Call sign, not Ron. Maybe that's what we do. Is we just your call sign is Ron. How can we hide cables asking for a friend? And we were talking about that actually off camera. Some people do things like hide it underneath the motherboard. So you'll run cables completely underneath the motherboard. I know some people use SSD trays. That was the one thing he'll do is you'll have a single cable, but you'll have all of the cables bundled underneath the SSD trays. Smart. So it doesn't look like you actually have any cables at all. Some of them are actually, you'll do stuff like hide them in between fans and motherboards. So he'll have the rear exhaust fan, but then up between the I/O and the thing, there'll be a bunch of cables there, so you can't see it there. So he's see, one's he was oh man, this guy actually there is this world that he can do. But it's funny. We actually did. We had this thing for the launch of the Intel Creator Challenge. It was with the KS. And he was on the show, and he was like, we were supposed to go play Valorant, and my dad ended up playing Valorant for him because he was taking so long to cable manage that we had to we ended up his build ended up being done at the end. So he's very anal about his cable management, which is pretty funny. Call sign, not Ron. Yes, I think that is where it is right now. But we're gonna let him choose his own. He's just thinking about it very hardcore right now. So right now, what we're doing right now is routing all of the cables is what he is working on. So we're just kind of moving the bunches to the rear. And then for these fans, you're going to be using an ARGB controller, right? Like everything plugged in.
Technically 2, since it is a hefty amount of fans. So yes.
And then how are the fans in terms of noise level and stuff like that?
It kind of depends on what curve you set. Yeah, so if you put them at max, you'll hear noise.
You'll hear.
Sure. Yeah,
you'll hear. But for the most part, you guys try and do like whisper quiet if you can, right?
Yeah, when they're pretty on lower settings, low to medium settings, they're pretty good, even with 9 fans, which you would think it's pretty noisy, but they're
Now
bad.
the other thing too is I think a lot of times some of the stuff that people talk about when they purchase a pre-built, like when they were to get something from you guys. It isn't just like you finish building it and then it's finished. Like you guys, it goes through quality control. There's a bunch of things that you do.
Oh yeah.
So what are some of the stuff that this PC, like if Justin was to purchase this from your website, that this PC would go through as part of those checks?
So we do something that we like to call the burn-in process.
Oh, okay.
That is a process that has been refined for a long time now. A lot of talented people have worked on basically getting it down to, I don't want to say like a science, but like
it is a science in some regards.
In a way it is a science. Basically we run a combination of benchmarks, usually Prime 95, Cinebench, Furmark, sometimes IDA 64. Kind of just that, and then we have people monitor the PCs while they're doing that, make sure everything's good. We check for no faults in the RGB and whatnot, make sure that the front panel and whatnot and everything else is working, and pretty much just put it through the ringer.
So when you guys finish a PC build, when you get done, like say for instance we're going to get done, how long from when the PC is built to when it actually ships? Like what's the test time usually? Is it a couple days, a couple weeks, 16 months? Like, hey, people are still waiting because they ordered it 3 years ago.
We would like to test them for a long time, but usually I would say about the same day. Same day.
Yeah, okay. So it's so in other words, but because it's down to a science, that means people aren't waiting a ton of time.
Exactly.
But they still have they're going to get a quality tested build that they know is going to work. And what you're doing right now is loosening this so you can get a cable behind.
Yes.
So you're watching. Some people are talking about hiding stuff. He is currently working at routing some of his cables behind the motherboard here, so you can go from so you can kind of get some of those hidden. Justin, how's it going over on your side? It seems like you're focused.
No, I'm doing good.
Okay. Who is this? So same character that you're playing. You're still playing the same character.
Yep.
Okay. So what are some of the other characters that you like in this game?
So there's another character I like. Her name is Enchantress.
Okay.
But she's like one of those very, very hard characters to kind of control. So I would say I probably would need a little bit more time to learn her just because of how technical she is. So she's able to control puppets, and because she's able to control puppets, you actually have to control both characters at the same time.
Okay.
So she's pretty much like a puppet master. And I've just been watching a lot of videos and kind of like looking at what people are finding in the community to try to like digest and understand how to use her. Because normally I don't really go to those archetype of characters, but I wanted to try something new just because I'm a content creator, right? So I want to learn some new stuff.
I noticed that you're actually using a fighting stick because we can hear it, like a quality gaming keyboard, right? That we all really enjoy. But what do the buttons do? We're actually going to your hand cam. We got your hand cam right here, so we can actually see what you're doing. What are the buttons that you're basically pushing as you play?
So for this game has 4 attack buttons.
Okay.
Right, so there's a jab and then like a medium attack, which is kind of their standard one, and then you have a skill button, which like shows off his skills of with like his gun attack like this, or something advanced like that, and then you have a mana skill button where it uses the mana, so the blue bar under the life bar.
Okay.
That's where you can use a lot of like more of like the overpowered skills, but obviously it drains down, so you can't use it too much.
Right.
So that's kind of like the 4 buttons, and then you obviously have a guard button where you can hold block, but you could hold back while blocking in general.
And in the fundamentals for like so much of the fundamentals for fighting games are in specifically blocking, right? Like a lot of people, like when you see a lot of new players who jump in and play fighting games for the first time, they're just like attack, attack, attack. But for this game, it's about does it have the same thing? High, mid, low block, all that, and you have to counter based on where the attack is coming from.
Yeah, like so if you're blocking high, then you're skeptical to low attacks. If you're blocking low, you're skeptical to like high attacks, right? So you also have to react to what your opponent's gonna do to make sure you block properly. So a lot of times in more like the modern fighting games, blocking is actually pretty tough.
Oh. Somebody was saying, somebody said, ultimate fanboy cred. Jay Wong used my stick live on camera. So you may actually have an opportunity, Justin, to create a new line of merches where you just use a stick and then just sell it online, because there are apparently people who would do that. Yes.
You know, yeah. The crazy part about that is that back in the day, since like sticks were like very hard to come by, like I would borrow a lot of like player sticks at the event.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So now, obviously, it's so easy to buy like fight sticks or like hitboxes or even like pads. But before, it was a struggle.
So how many fighting sticks do you have?
Oh, a lot. I collect a lot. I also gave away a bunch for like like a lot of fans or giveaways or when I was moving. But in general, it's in my storage. So I have a designated area for sticks.
Okay. Now, if somebody was some people are asking now that they're learning. By the way, can we get F in chat? We've lost two more cable ties. We are now up to a total of 4. Don't forget to keep them because we want to make sure that we're going to know odd or even at the end. But people are asking recommendations for best fighting stick.
Oh man, it really depends.
Right. Is it a personal choice?
Yeah, I would say if you want like something that's good and standard. A good combo. A combo Obsidian is really good. Right now, I'm using the combo's new stick called a Q8, which is meant for like PC only. And then what's really good about it is that it's a silent stick.
Got it.
Right. So because it's silent, you're not gonna wake up people at home.
Got it. Okay, and then it's also not like if somebody's sitting next to you and they know what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Because it's too fast, because that would not be a thing. Unlike stream sniping, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I like using the stick a lot just because like I don't, the wife complains about the buttons are so loud and everything, but this uses a silent joystick and silent button, so you don't really hear it too much compared to like other ones where it's like click clack to the third.
Right.
So that's why I like about it.
So where are you at on Atari joysticks? Like, is that
Atari joysticks?
Pretty good. Like, I feel like there's a video coming like where I won Evo using only an Atari joystick, which has one button. And
so the problem with even Atari joysticks, like let's say you used the Atari joystick, like the actual joysticks, and then you replace the buttons with like actual buttons, right? The problem with Atari joystick is probably they're a four-way joystick.
Yeah.
So because of that, you're not gonna hit the diagonals as good as compared to like an 8-way joystick, where fighting games you need all eight directions.
Got it. So, but the thing is, that's the whole point, right? Like you're playing with one hand tied behind your back, Justin.
Oh, that's gonna be.
We're talking about your moment.
That's gonna be tough.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying. It's like this is your chance, dude, to do something incredible. Like you're Turtle, you can do it.
The crazy part, there's videos where I have made YouTube videos of playing with one button.
Oh, okay.
Right. So a lot of people love seeing those type of challenges, which is funny because when you're playing against somebody that's not in on the challenge, they're trying to play all normal and everything, but then they realize, how come he's only doing one button? Right. So it's kind of fun. But once they figure it out that it's like I'm trolling or I'm doing it for a video, then they're like, oh, okay, so I could just do this and that.
Oh, and then it goes really poorly for you.
Yeah, exactly. So it takes a while, but I mean, you get some really good moments with that.
Right. That could be a lot of fun. Have you done like? Can we see a future video with you using nothing but an Atari joystick? Is like that thing coming?
I could. If it's for you, because your name is Justin, I got you.
Well, it's actually mostly for Juan, because Juan, like he's just like, Juan's just been feeding me these ideas the whole time. We're like mentally connected as PC building enthusiasts. And for those people who are watching right now, even though it says Robeytech Skytech Gaming PC, that is actually just Justin's hands and a fighting stick. That is not us. We are not his fingers, like or anything like that. I just want to. I know some people are probably getting confused, but yeah, that's going from there. Justin is not seeing chat. I don't think he can see chat.
I can see chat.
Oh, he can't see chat. So he is still here. He's just not chatting via. He's not just chatting via typing in or anything like that. So yeah, 3 J's of power. That's right.
Yeah,
I just
3
realized
J's of
we
power.
have 3 J's going on right now. We're like JJ and J. Like together we make great something. I don't know. Well, what do we make great? We make great PCs.
Great PCs.
Yeah, great PCs.
Yeah, I didn't want to like go too hard because you guys are talking about the more important stuff while I'm just pressing buttons over there.
I will say there is a lot of skill being used today, like across the board. Great cable management skill, great gameplay skill, and then there's me. I don't know what skill I'm using right now, but we're going to pretend it's important in some way, shape, or form. So somebody's asking what brand of sticks. We talked about one of them already. What are some of the other brands that you now use in terms of sticks?
You could use Razer has good fight sticks as well too.
So okay, Razer. Okay, there you go.
Right.
They're for gamers by gamers for gamers. Just so you guys know.
Yep. So then you also have Hori.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's like an old school stick from like the PS2 era.
Yeah.
I would say those are the probably the 3 main ones, and obviously there's new controllers now besides pads and joysticks called hitboxes.
Right.
Where it's kind of like more of like a like you use buttons to control the movement instead of like actual D-pads or joysticks.
So there has been this rumor on the internets that the real way to win at fighting games is to take take one of those fighting sticks and then just tape it to your head and go, "Rah," and then that wins also, right? Is that true or?
I don't think so. Like, I don't think so. But the thing is, what's very popular with fight sticks in general is that I think when people play fighting games, they have a lot of hard time because their first intention is to mash, right? Because like if you're playing kind of like let's say,
has worked out for me.
right? Those games,
Juan's like mashing has worked out for me. Yeah.
Like if you're playing those games like God of War type of games, right?
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. Do you guys remember? I mean, do you remember the old Nintendo fight stick, like the OG,
the 8-bit do?
Yeah. Those ones like from way back in the day, right? Like that only the coolest kids had. Like I don't know. My parents never bought me one of those. I knew that at that point in time, my brother would have never beat me. But then he was like, let's go to the arcade. And then at that point in time, that's all we could learn was playing at the arcade. And that was all joystick at that point in time. But yeah, man, the NES and SNES like sticks were actually pretty rad. Now it's funny because like you talked about, you used to also play, you weren't always a PC guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you've just, how long ago did you transition to PC?
Probably 2019-ish.
Oh, so pretty recently.
Yeah, it's because like a lot of times our tournaments are based on console.
Okay.
Right, so because of that, there's different speeds and everything. So there's like actual like speeds in terms of like this game has like X amount of input delay versus like PC, which is the fastest.
Right.
So when you're playing those type of games in tournaments, it's like those crucial like 1 to 2 frames. It's like a huge difference.
Right. Okay. But now it's like, so first and foremost, welcome to PCMR, right?
Yep.
Like for those people who don't know, I don't know if anybody's officially welcomed you, but those here at Robeytech, Skytech, and Intel welcome you to PCMR. So we'll make sure that on that certificate they're making for you right now that they have welcome to PCMR in there underneath the bust. I've actually heard that Skytech is going to be able to do this entirely in marble.
Oh.
So it's going to weigh a ton, but they're going to hand chisel your certificate in. It's going to be pretty cool. So welcome from there. We talked a little bit about your rotation. How often do you change your fighting game rotation, like in terms of the games that you play on stream pretty regularly?
It's probably an everyday thing.
Okay.
So usually like obviously if there's a new popular game, that's going to be playing a rotation for like let's say the week.
Okay.
But in general, I like to just always change things up.
So how long have you been playing this one? Because this one's fairly new, right?
Yeah, this is fairly new. This came out like last week.
Oh, that's really new.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, even Wong was surprised. Like he had a moment. He was like, "Whoa." Okay, so how long do you think this one will be in your rotation?
It's going to be a while.
Okay.
Just because this game, I actually find it like super fun.
Okay.
So that's what I like about this game. I would say in terms of rotation, man, it really depends on the developers doing in terms of content or like DLC characters and everything like that.
Do you feel like this one's going to be supported quite a bit?
I hope so, just because it's a super fun game, right? And it definitely reminds me of like an Ultimate Marvel's Capcom 3 vibe, but obviously replaced with like their IP of characters. And it's just beautiful.
It is. It actually, like, I love every time that you beat somebody up. And then even when you get KO'd, it's also very cool because you get to see their animations.
Yeah, you get to see their animations. So it has a lot of like fun factor for sure. I would say in terms of like the amount of people enjoying this game, it's like super big.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay, Juan, so let's check in. Let's see how things are going right now. So we're actually going to rotate over here to this other camera because it's going from there. But this is where things are right now from the PC standpoint. So he's started his cable management. So what is your focus at this point with what you have kind of built? Like as you're doing your cable management.
So right now I was just focusing on mostly the front panel cables, kind of getting the excess tucked away, you know, making everything look pretty tight. And then what I'm going to be moving on to next is going to be all the fan cables. So getting the controllers in, getting the controller set up and connected, and yeah.
Okay, so things are looking nice and clean. Wow, you did a really good job at with hiding this stuff. We are total deaths. Right now is 2, 4. It looks like we got 6, 7. We're at odd right now. Oh. So make sure that you, hopefully you guys got your vote in. And then it looks like we're adding RGB controllers at this point in time. So these are them right there in these little white boxes.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. So I'll crack one of these open so you guys can see what these RGB controllers are. These are for the fans. So they do come with a remote control. Mm-hmm. I heard that you can also use this on your significant other. So if you want to mute her or him or whatever, you can just hit the M button, and that mutes them. Or maybe it's just in my head, but I pretend that is. But quite a few options in terms of the RGB stuff, in terms of what you can do here.
Yes.
And then the controllers themselves look like this. Oh, and so there's a lot. So you can do fans. So it's all okay. And then is it all just controlled off the motherboard or?
Either or.
Okay.
The MB is actually mode switching, so you can either use your remote to control everything, or you can let the motherboard handle it.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And then we're going to be using 2 of these because we have so many fans. So much RGB.
Yes.
That's where it is. So anyway, does he get 2 remotes or does one remote work with both?
You know what? He can have both.
Okay, he's going to have both. Okay, so you got 2 remotes. So if you want to mute your daughter too at some point in time, Justin, you can just basically hit that M button and mute
that
hers.
helps a lot.
Yeah, I thought so. I wish they had this back in the day. Bittersweet's like Mrs. Robeytech shows up on chat all the time. What she doesn't know, Bittersweet won't hurt her. So that's where we're gonna go, going from there. Okay, so are we gonna? Oh, do we need this? Oh, he's like, yeah. Thank you for showing it off. Here, you take this, and I actually need to do work here, Robey. One question is what other? Are we gonna see another character in the rotation today? Justin, what do you think?
I can showcase some of the characters after this match. In terms of like showing what the characters can do in like training mode, what the buttons each does as well too. So after this sweaty match that we're having right here, because this guy's really good.
Cool.
He's on like one of the top leaderboards right now. So
nice.
I'm trying to get to that position.
And that's kind of your focus right now. Like if people were gonna watch, one of your streams, your whole thing is at this point in time. Now, do you play like just a single character to kind of climb in the short term, and then from there start to branch out a little bit?
Usually I would say right now, just because since I'm in that tournament that I mentioned for this game for like 10,000.
Oh.
Like I don't want to let my teammates down, right?
Got it. So you're also taking advantage of this time to also get some practice in.
Yeah.
Which is good. So you are not only, I don't know if you hear this one, but he's getting a free a new PC from you guys, and he's also getting to practice. And we make him look good. I mean, this is like a trifecta right here. And you got a new nickname, Turtle.
So it's actually not free. You will be paying with training lessons.
Oh, there we go. That's right. And dev time on his new Minecraft builder that's coming up as well.
I beat this guy though. I'm happy.
Yeah, there he goes. He's like, my moment. There you go. Let's go, guys. Let's give it. That's a nice cheer right there. Okay, so what we'll do now after this, guys, is we'll go ahead and jump in and have him show off some of these other characters. Oh no, you're already in another game?
No, so it goes back to like training mode.
Okay, got it.
So I'm gonna just, once I get this, I'll exit back to like the main menu.
Now, people are asking, hey, if you want to get in on the giveaway, we're actually going to be giving away a black version of this exact same PC, minus the streamer cables. Yes. But if you want to get in on that, head on over to Intel's Twitch, twitch.tv/Intel, hit !play. At the very end of the stream, we're going to have like a little competition that you guys will get to watch, and then you guys will get to see whether you win this PC or not. And that's all happening here on the show. And then, of course, we actually have the system here, but we're going to be having it go back to Skytech. They're going to make it go through QC, and then they will actually ship it out to you, along with Juan, who will be setting it up for you, and then hanging out with you for a full day. And like you at a restaurant of your choice, as long as it's Burger King, McDonald's, or because the total per diem is $30. So, but outside of that, you do get a PC, but then you get to hang out with Juan as well, and help him work out. Robey saying, do you have to be present to win? Yes, you do have to be present, I think, right? Yes, we're saying you do have to be present. So that is the current thing. Yeah, winner will be drawn from marbles. Yes, people are going in there.
All right, so this is the character I'm playing right now, Hitman, and then this is the character roster screen where like you can choose different classes from like the original game Dungeon Fighter Online. So this is the Swiftmaster, definitely one of the best characters of the game at the moment. This character is a ranger, so pretty much his original name is Gunner. Okay. And he shoots like full screen bullets. So he's more of like that, like I'm gonna play the keep away type of character, right? So
typically a character you would actually like.
Yeah, for me, I definitely like him. I actually played him in the actual Dungeon Fighter Online game, which is funny as well. Berserker, he's kind of like the flagship character, like the main character that you see right here. Okay. I would say for anyone that gets into the game that wants to play, this is probably you're the best character for you to learn like right away. And is the learning just because simplistic, or is it learning just because like why would this be the best character to kind of learn? He's just more easier to understand compared to other characters. So like for example, like we'll go into the actual training mode. So like he has like long range swords buttons, very good special moves to abuse. So he actually plays a completely different game just because of like the abilities that he can do. So I personally think he's like the best character in the game. Got it. Right? Got it. Okay. But just in general, when you just press the buttons, it just feels like, man, I understand what I need to do. So he has like these long range buttons, right? Got it. Right. Okay. So that's why it's like so satisfying. It's satisfying because he has all these like different buttons that he can just kind of like just throw out, and you just feel good about it. Got it. That makes a lot of sense. By the way, just a real quick one. People are saying you should grow a mullet. I don't know why. They're just saying that you would have the best mullet. Don't know where that came from, but apparently hashtag Juan mullet is trending. I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, hashtag Juan mullet is trending.
They are in style at the moment.
So so if you like what you've seen from the game, Justin's saying come on in, pick up Berserker, and that would be like the place to start. Yeah. So what are some of these other characters? So we have Vanguard, who's also like a long range lance user. So he's kind of like Ranger, but doesn't go full screen, but goes like I would say 90% of the screen. So he's also another character that has very range attacks. Launcher is actually kind of like that engineer character where she just sets up a lot of just like missiles, grenades, like plasma beams. Like my kind of party. Yeah, she is very like cool in terms of that because she could put a lot of stuff on the screen. Okay. This is the character I'm very interested in Enchantress, because you see that little puppet that she has right there? She can control that puppet, and you have to control both of them at the same time while moving, which is very, I would say, multitasking to a point, because you have to understand how the puppet works at the same time. You have Troubleshooter, who's also probably like kind of like a hip hop version of this character that I play, and he's also really good. He's also good for beginners, I think, as well too. I like how you just said like he's like a hip hop like that. Like look at him. Yeah, look, see, he looks old. He is. I mean, he does. He looks super cool. Right? It's like honestly, it's like if Hitman and Cowboy Bebop had a baby. He would be Troubleshooter. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. And you have Dragon Knight, who's very taken to the aerial approach, which is really cool. She can fly and kind of use her dragon to kind of like cover her attacks, her ground attacks, which is nice. Kunoichi, she's like a ninja, so she gives you a lot of like Naruto vibes in terms of like the moves with the fire jutsus, summoning a frog. So she has all that type of stuff. Inquisitor, she's kind of one of those really tanky characters, which is really cool, just because you normally do not see a lot of female characters in fighting games to be very tanky. So the fact that she has that and they're branching out, it's just awesome, just because
this is for like a lot of players that always want to play like a female character plus a tank character. At the same
yeah,
time.
I think that's an archetype that's always been kind of a little bit problematic sometimes. Is like you've always seen tanky characters with like people like like Zangief or stuff like that.
Right?
That are like, but this is like the Inquisitor doesn't necessarily fit that archetype, which is awesome. But you still kind of have that whole thing, and it lets you kind of play a character that's outside of that almost like box, so to speak, which is pretty cool.
Right, and then this is a character that we probably saw me fight a lot throughout the stream. Striker, she's super aggressive, just because she's pretty much the Chun-Li of the game. Where I would say where she has this free form, just kind of martial arts style, super popular in terms of Dungeon Fighter Online as well too. So you see a lot of her just because she's just a likable character.
Good,
right? And then you have Grappler, who's like pretty much the Zangief of the game. But he just looks, kind of like he's pretty much from the same class as this character from Dungeon Fighter Online.
It looks like he can open peanut butter jars really easily, right? Like he's just like if you have like a jar that you're having a really tough time opening, you know what I mean? You can just hand it to Grappler, and this dude could get it open no problem.
And then you have Crusader, who's the current meme of in the Twitter world in terms of the YouTube algorithm, everything, because this character is it's very cheap. Everyone hates fighting this character, but as a spectator, you are going to be like, oh, I'm going to be involved in the meme and just keep saying amen. Every time you see this character, everyone in the Twitch chat just types in amen, amen. I'll show you why after we go to this one. This is Ghostblade. Pretty much he uses kind of like the stand behind him, kind of like a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure type of vibe, where he could just summon like the ghost, and the ghost fights with him as well too.
Nice.
And then we have this character. I actually have this character unlocked on my original setup, but because it's I'm just logging here, you don't see him. But he's the Lost Warrior. No, I'm not going to spoil anything about him. If you're trying to get him, you just have to go through story mode, right?
There
so I don't want to spoil that.
And how long is story mode? So there is like a single player component to this game.
Yeah, so it's usually pretty fast because they want you to get this character fast, but it's 30 minutes.
Okay.
But every character has their own unique story. So if you think about it, every character is a 30-minute story.
Got it. Oh, so there's actually but you would have to in order to play that story mode. Is it just like you'd select campaign, or is there a specific story mode you need to play to get?
No, you can pick whoever you want.
Okay.
As long as you do story mode one time with one character, you will unlock this character in the end.
Okay. We probably. What do you think? Like maybe we do. Maybe we do the unlock that for people, people can see it, and maybe we play through Crusader's story. Oh, and then we can unlock it at the end?
I would say the problem with it is that the AI is super easy. So it's just going to just be me fighting literally this person just standing still like that type of thing.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Right? So you have this move right here, right? So this move, so you could just do this.
Oh, wow.
And you keep doing it. So this is the meme right here.
Oh, that looks terrible and super frustrating.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's one of those things that people are just so upset about because it's literally it's a one button combo the whole time.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that's the meme.
That looks brutal. People are asking PC right now, guys. There's nothing's changed on the PC. That's why we're actually focused on this because all he's doing is okay. So we can show you. We can show you. Okay, so we can show you some. We'll show you a little progress check before we go back to Amen. But now there's more cables, but you can see even less of them. Is the way that it's kind of working. So he's got his controllers in at this point in time, and now what he's doing is he's just getting everything. We're actually getting very close to moving on to GPU and all that sort of stuff here actually pretty soon. Your build is progressing, Justin.
Nice.
It's progressing very well.
I'm excited to see after when you say, okay, I'm done.
Oh, I'm not doing anything. Honestly, this is the least I've ever built on a show here, but it's
feels good.
Yeah, it does. It feels good. I'm just getting to hang out and stuff like that. But people are looking at it. People are enjoying your joystick too. The fact that it all lights up. We've got a dedicated camera. Probably some of Will's best camera work, I'll be honest, and he's not operating it, which is probably why it's so good.
Yeah. So what's crazy about this is that this is the one I was saying. This is the Combo Q8 where it has silent buttons and silent sticks. And the crazy part, you see it's going crazy. So they have different versions.
Oh wow! Okay.
Right, and there's a wheel right here. You can kind of control the color, so it has this RGB into this joystick. Everything is RGB, man. I told you.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just telling you right now. That is why it is so much better. Is actually not because of anything else outside of the fact that it's literally just RGB. I mean, that's what it is, right? There isn't anything else. So we now know the real secret to Justin's success is RGB.
So right now I'm going through the Crusaders trial mode.
Okay.
So the Crusaders trial modes actually teaches you a lot in terms of like there's the tutorial and everything like that. Teaches you like how to like control the game, the HP and damage, what everything means. And then after you learn the basics, because obviously when you learn this page, you learn pretty much everything you need to know in terms of like the game mechanics. But then the next page where you see basic combos, this is where you want to clear all them, and this is how you actually learn
how to play the character.
How to play the character. And these combos, I would say, they're very useful because most of the time when fighting games give you like these type of trial modes and everything like that, the combos are not good to use. They're kind of like I would say filler at that point. But DNF Duel combos are actually quite optimal. So shout out to the developers for actually creating combos that we can actually use in matches.
Got it. Okay, so you're just going through and just showing all the different combos at this point in time.
Yeah.
And then every time you pull off a combo, we're supposed to say amen, right?
You know, if you want, sure.
So this is you working on the combo.
Yeah, you see it says great. So I
good job, Justin.
Thank you. But when you get to 6 to 8, that's when it's like you're going to see a bit more failure from my side, in trying to actually get the combo down. I like how he was like already started capping on that. It's like eventually I won't always pass. Robey. Yeah, I won't always do it first try.
Yeah. Even though that's what we were expecting. Juan and I are like, Juan's crying a little bit over here.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So he was like, if he doesn't clear it first try, I'm shaving my mustache off. And I'm like, what? Let's not get crazy, Juan. Let's not get crazy.
Right. And the coolest part about, let's say if you're stuck on a combo because you don't know how it's supposed to work and look like, you can go to here and preview the demo. And the demo will show the game. The game will show you, okay, this is what the combo looks like. So this is not me doing the combo. Right. So now you have to copy that.
Wow, that is a lot that's in that combo right there. Amen for sure on that one. Yeah, that was like a strong one. By the way, guys, can we get some just some hype in the chat for how good Will's camera work is today on that hand cam? That is so good. And I want to call that out because he's doing such a good job not managing that camera, which is why it's so good. So let's just keep that going and just get that hype for that hand cam. So good job there, right there. But yeah, it's all in all like so good. I mean, this game looks. I mean, so this is like the cheese character.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
So right now,
this is the part that always makes me not want to play these games anymore because they always look so hard. So now you haven't cleared this one yet.
Nope, not yet. Oh, so close.
Okay, so guys, now this is almost like what we were going with like last week, right? Where, okay, everybody, hold on. Let's pause. Just pause for a second, Justin. If you fail, okay, pause. Okay, look at the camera. Let's get a full focus on Justin. I want you to say this. Say, I'm good enough.
Wait, say I'm not good enough?
No, say I'm good enough.
Okay.
Say I'm good enough.
I'm good enough.
I'm strong enough.
I'm strong enough.
And gosh darn it, people like me.
And gosh darn it, I think people like me.
No, it's like people like me. Okay, you can do it this time. Let's go. Let's get feel strong, man. There you go.
Okay.
We've got him psyched up, right, Juan?
Do your affirmations.
There we go. We got to do our affirmations. But then you failed.
I'm sorry. you got. Hold on. It's the timing. There we go. Oh, I pressed the wrong button.
Oh no, it was so close. Oh, I think there it goes.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah, so I did notice like you were just like a split second longer on the other one. So yeah, the timing is really important on this.
Yeah, timing in this game, it's crucial. But the thing is, stuff like this is like one of the most fun thing for me.
Right.
Because I'm like, the game's telling me, bro, you suck. So you need to like step it up.
No, it wasn't saying that. It's just saying that you are fighting game challenged right now, and we're helping you work through this. It's like you're literally going through fighting game therapy right now.
It is. I mean, to be honest, like I love playing games and clearing stuff like that.
There it is. Yeah.
That's only 4.
I know that's only. You know what? Don't ruin it for us.
Watch when we get to like 6 to 8. It gets crazier.
Okay. I'm excited about it. Like I like this mode.
That was first try, right? We got that one.
Move on to the initial part of the streamer yet?
Oh yeah, let's do those. Okay. Yes, we're gonna do streamers while you're doing the hard stuff. This is like this. Now this is new. Have you used these before?
I've used the old version.
These are the old versions. These are the old ones.
Oh, these are the
yeah, they're just the old ones.
Okay, so it is gonna have that thing right here.
What do you mean?
I've used the version that had the rear I/O where you would control.
No, this just has the big fatty brick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's still the same thing, but yes, you have. This basically just needs to go someplace where
another controller.
Yeah, it's just another controller.
Cool. RGB.
RGB. All the RGB. There's
Perfect.
what we have right here. I'm gonna grab all the extra stuff here and go from here. Okay. I like how you were like patiently waiting. You're like, are we ready? Yes, we are always ready. Yeah, because after this, once we get these streamers in, then it gets to like it's basically at that point. It's just it's all about GPU.
Yeah.
Now the question that I'm going to look at real quick because I'm going to save us some time is I'm going to open up the GPU and see if these are turned the right way or if we need to turn these around. So I'll do that.
Perfect.
I can do that. Save you that pain, buddy. That is literally the most non-enjoyable job on the planet.
Oh.
Literally the worst. I'm hoping it just works. Yeah. So where are we at? Are you on? Oh, this
I'm
one
on
looks
8.
long.
Yeah, you see how long this one is?
This is really long.
All right, look. This is what it looks like, right?
I think we might have hurt Will's feelings because he's moving his camera now.
Oh, bro, what? they got you with the side switch too?
Whoa, that's crazy.
That is a long combo.
That is a really long combo. I think they were trying to tell me something and I wasn't able to hear them. If they want to just tell me that one more time. Okay, there we go. So I'm just going to see what I'm verifying right now while he is currently working on getting all the streamers installed is I'm going to verify that the actual cables are the right direction. So now we're tag teaming.
Yeah.
Now it's a real partnership. It's like Marvel versus
party.
Capcom. I'm Wolverine.
I guess I'm Mega Man.
There you go. Oh yeah, I forgot Mega Man was in there. That's such a great. Yeah, he's such a great character.
You like Mega Man? You like how good are you in like Mega Man games?
Oh, I mean, like those are like when my parents first bought my Nintendo. Those were all I got was Mega Man. I got Blaster Master, Bionic Commando, and then I got Mario. And so they were like, until you beat these, you can't play these other. I will not buy you other games.
Damn.
So I beat every single one of them.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was like, and dude, I'll be honest, man. Mega Man was like painful because some
of those are hard.
My Mega Man and Bionic Commando, you didn't have save points. Like you literally had to beat it in one stand. You know what I mean? So yeah, no, it's got a special place both in hell and in my heart for what those games represent. So. But I loved the Mega Man games. They were great. Mega Man, some of my favorite ones, Mega Man, Kid Icarus, Metroid, like some of those like just really hardcore, old school games. I mean, you remember those games, right, Justin?
Oh, yeah. I played a lot of those Mega Man games growing up. And, as a kid, I feel like you're better at video games as a kid because you're so more like determined to beat those hard NES games, because I feel like now when I play these NES games, like just like trying to like play like for example like Mike Tyson's Punch Out, I'm like I don't have the patience anymore to just kind of like try to like react and learn everything because it gets so frustrating.
Yeah,
you ever had that feeling for like when you're younger?
You know what, honestly, I would almost agree that, but I now have kids, Justin, and I feel like they get frustrated way easier than I do. Like, I was like, man, when I was like 8 and I got my Nintendo, dude, I used to sit out there and play those games. It's not like you could go to your parents back then and be like, hey, Dad, how do I beat this? Because they didn't exist before then, right? You know what I mean? Like, you're innovating with these new games. And then, and so like, but like now it's like my son, like I'll sit down and we were playing Elden Ring.
Yeah.
And he was like, and he attacked the shop guy. And I was like, well, why did you attack the shop guy? Of course he's going to kill you. And then he's like, I hate this game. I don't want to play him anymore. And I'm like, what? Like, dude, like this isn't like, we haven't even gotten to the hard part yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things that like, I agree. Like I don't have the patience anymore for the games. And honestly, I think it's more time than anything else. But, yeah, it's like I don't know if that's still true anymore. Yeah, somebody's talking about like, do you guys remember the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Oh,
like,
yeah, they're hard.
Dude, on NES, right? Like those, every time you get into the water level, you're like, what? Like this? But I mean, yeah, you had to beat that in like one go too. So yeah.
I think the worst for me was Battletoads. You ever played Battletoads?
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, and then they like, I think it's awesome that it's like one of those games that Xbox is like everybody wants to bring back, and it's like, dude, do you remember how hard Battletoads really was?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Do you really want that to come back? Like less than 2 people will beat that game. And it'll be like one guy who's been like waiting his entire life to play it again. It's like, it's so crazy because like you watch speedrunners like Distortion, and you watch some of those games done quick, and like you and I were talking about it a little bit, Justin, even Wong a little bit about like these people who play games blind, and you're like, it's unbelievable like how well some of these people play those games that are just so incredibly hard and punishing.
I think that's the really cool thing about it, is that like it's just when did you learn how to get all those social cues or like those interactions on when like, okay, this is where the RNG possibly would happen, this is where this random glitch could possibly happen where you could just teleport like 50 levels.
Yeah.
Like for example, like I kid you not, like you have you know, the like when you play Super Mario 3, you know how the third level you can get like the you hold down on like the white pillar and you go down, and then you get the flute. I kid you not, I did not know like that was like in a movie, or I read it online.
It was in
whatever.
The Wizard.
Yeah, it was in The Wizard. Like I actually just did it by accident and I just fell down.
Yes, you may.
And I was super surprised. I was like, "Whoa, what's this?" And I accidentally found that whistle.
Oh wow, you accidentally, yeah. The rest of us like learned it from like basically watching The Wizard and being like, wait, what? And then you like went and watched The Wizard, and then you're like, oh, okay. But even then, like think about it, right? Like there was like outside of like reading Nintendo Power, right? Like like that was it. Like that's how you learned your tricks back in the day.
Yep.
Man, I feel like I'm like now my parents. Back in my day when I played video games, I had to go both ways uphill in the snow to play my fighting games. You know what I mean?
I couldn't save.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't save. What is saving? We didn't even know what that was. It's like, dude, it's like I feel like I'm the worst right now. Like I'm like that dad.
You know, it's gonna happen.
It's like bound to, right? It's really funny. Like I was at July 4th with my kids, and me and some of the other dads were there, and they're like, and my daughter comes over and she goes, you know what, Dad? You're like a dad's dad. You're not even like a normal dad. You're like the dad's dad. And I was like, what does that even mean? And she's like, you know, it just is. And I was like, I got left. And I was like, I hope I'm not a dad's dad. I want to be like one of the cool dads, not the dad's dad. You know what I mean? Like intentionally not wearing like, you know, funky pants or anything like that. But yeah, the girl's 1,000% right. Great. I'm getting affirmed in the wrong way from chat. You are so a dad's dad. Okay, so what I have to do here to make this work is I have to push these whole things down because you need a little bit more length. Because you need a little bit more length here to get these to be spread. So I'm literally having to push them down further. It'll get there. So it's a little bit of a pain. But I need to give you a little bit more room so you can split them. This is what I was talking about. Like literally, this is what you have. Have you ever had to do this?
No, I have not.
This is like, yeah. So this is when you like, it's like sometimes I'll get to builds and I'll be like, oh, please just work out of the box. Please just work out of the box. And you're like, nope, you're going to deal with the pain. So I'm giving you a little bit more length so you can split these because the 8 pins aren't close together.
Yeah.
You just need a little bit more room. But yeah, thank you very much to everybody who's in chat making me feel just super old. Now, dude, I heard something crazy, which I didn't know about you, Justin, but dude, 20-year career.
Oh yeah, I'm old.
No, you're not old. You're just aged.
Aged like fine wine?
Yeah, you're aged like fine wine.
Well, yeah, you know, I started young, right? I personally didn't think like anything would come from this. It was more of kind of like a hobby, played for my arcade type of thing, and then somehow like it just kind of fumbled into this like career.
Right. So because I mean, back when you probably started, I mean, when was your first tournament?
I would say my first tournament was in 2000.
Okay.
Yeah, the year of 2000. Maybe no, I think maybe it might be 1999, but it was definitely like
I was born in 1999.
a while back for sure.
Okay. He was like, Juan's over here like, I was born in 1999. Yeah, thanks,
95.
Juan. Oh, 95.
Not that bad.
Oh, it's like, wow, thanks, Juan. Thanks for making us feel so young.
Yes. Finally, I got the combo.
problem.
Let's go.
So like even then, like that's like streaming wasn't a thing yet. Like it was starting. Justin TV, I think, was at that time, right? Like I don't even know.
No,
if Twitch
I think Justin TV on Ustream was like 2008 or 7.
Oh, so it is like we weren't even like my dates are way off.
Yeah, because Evo 2009 was streamed on Ustream when they were like kind of like the rivals with like Justin TV. So that's the first time our fighting game tournament was ever streamed, was during like that like early 2009 era.
And were you one of the ones who said this streaming thing will never take off?
No, I was just like super surprised, because before, if you wanted to watch like the matches like from like the early like 2000s to like 2008,
you had to watch it on ESPN 8 the Ocho.
I wish, but you actually had to be there or wait 3 months to buy the DVDs.
Oh, that's right.
Right. So now the fact that like live stream is a thing, people can watch it in real time and enjoy the matches as the people that were there. So it definitely helps a lot, because, you know, streaming definitely helped grow our community as a whole. Right. Because more people are playing. Because 2009 was like, they had a Street Fighter 4 GameStop national tournament, and I won that tournament from GameStop. So because of that GameStop event, it got everybody going to Evo, and kind of more people are interested in fighting games at the time. So it was just a crazy time, because in 2008 there was probably like barely anybody at Evo, but 2009 was like skyrocketed like times 10 type of thing.
Right, and that was back when GameStop was cool.
Yeah.
You know, they're getting there again, probably, right? Yeah, it's so funny, because I remember back in the day, you used to like go to GameStop to actually do like do tournaments, right? To get to go to those things, right? The tournament started in your local GameStop, and then
that was for that one time for Street Fighter 4. But besides that, we usually relied on like forums.
Yeah,
right? Forums where like they'll say, oh, there's a tournament in Atlanta, Georgia, with like $3,000 prize pool for like X amount of games. And you had to like sign up on site. There was no like online registration process back in the day. So it was definitely super bare bones. And you know, we came a long way as a community.
That's awesome. I mean, like, it's great to see how that's gone, and like all in all for the better at this point in time. So hopefully,
perfect.
You have enough length now. I can't give you any more. So this is like the painful part where you got to just finagle just enough. Just enough. Oh, there we go.
So how's it looking over there?
Well, we've probably done the biggest challenge. Okay, so you can just run that and get that done now.
Yeah.
So now we got the RGB cables. The most important part has been added.
Nice.
So which is all you really care about.
The flash.
Yeah, the flash has been added. Yeah, it actually is funny. People are like saying that's a fat GPU. You haven't seen real GPUs.
Yeah,
that's actually pretty thin. That's actually pretty mid-sized GPU. Go look at an EVGA 3090 Ti, and then you're like, or like an Aorus Master, yeah, or an Aorus Master. Yeah, like, which is just like, you know, those ones are like the, you know, you're like, wow, that takes up the whole case.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's actually like a mid-size GPU, not really a big, not really one of the biggest for sure. Okay, and then you got one more. You got your big beefy boy here.
Thank you.
Yeah, which luckily I don't have to do anything to modify that one, which is great. Yeah, the PC is looking super clean at the moment, I have to say. Now, one thing that is a little rough, like usually, and I'll show you, usually when you're working on this actually has a tendency to be a whole lot higher up, but given just how split these cables are, we have to basically push it a bit down, so it's not as high up as we'd normally see with the cable. But you know what? Sometimes you got to do with what you got to do to make things work. So it's still going to look super sick. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's funny because we actually have some Lee and Lee streamers here in the back. We actually have this probably one of the most famous Intel PCs, believe it or not, which is this one here in the back. You can see some of the streamers shooting back there. But I will say, there it is right there. If you've ever seen Intel's social media posts, that PC, which was actually, that's a Robeytech built PC, but that PC has been all over the place and shows up a lot. But yeah, those are the streamers that we're adding in there as well. So, which will be great. That's what we're aiming for. And this is something that, unlike the PC we're giving away today, this is something that is actually a little bit different from that PC. Is that that will not be in this in the one that you can win. Still a stunning build that you guys will be able to win though. and very cool from Skytech to be able to get to add that to the giveaway, as well as the hand carved marble bust of Justin Wong. Yeah, we're going to be adding that to the giveaway as well. Really excited to see that at the end of the stream. They've been working on it all day. They're just over there laughing. They're like, we haven't done anything. Shut up, Dad's dad.
I would love a bust, though. Like of myself, I would love that.
What if what if we worked on this, Justin? What if we got you an OG Marvel vs. Capcom 2 arcade cabinet and a bust? Like,
oh
I
my
think
God.
those, and then I think your wife would be completely fine with pretty much removing all of your living room furniture and just having those two things in your living room.
How about?
Oh, here we go.
Arcade cabinet made out of marble.
Yeah, there we go. Made a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 arcade cabinet made out of marble with your hand-carved bust in the side.
Okay, I'm about it.
Yeah, there we go. These are all things. I see them furiously typing over there, finding out where they're going to be able to find this thing that I keep promising on stream. The one thing I've learned is as long as I say it on stream, it has to be real.
Right, yeah. It has to come true. You're like,
it has
oh,
to
man.
come true. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like
please say I'm getting a raise after this.
And Juan is getting a 40% raise.
Oh yeah, yeah, I like that.
Oh man, so much good stuff. Okay, so now you're now back on the grind.
Yeah.
Practicing for your. Oh, did you actually get them all done?
Yeah, I did.
I didn't even get to celebrate with you.
I celebrated by myself.
Well, that's sad. That's like going to Denny's on like New Year's Eve by yourself, right? Like that's like just a bad situation. Justin, I would just like to personally apologize from the team here at Intel and from Troy, who wasn't managing that very well. So we're going to make sure that does not happen again, and you do not have to celebrate by yourself again.
Okay.
Bad
Thank
of you, Troy.
I appreciate that so much.
Even Will was on the game on that one. That's saying something. Okay, so this is looking good. We are very, very close to actually having this build done. The only thing we've got left. Oh, look at this. So you guys, here it is. We're just going to do a quick zoom in here on the build. This is the build from the front, pretty much finished. Because there is, like, that is it. Like, all we're going to do now is put in the power supply, right? Yeah, everything else is done.
Yep.
So yeah, this is pretty much it. And even the back looks good.
Thank you.
I mean, I know he's a little frustrated because these things are just impossible to cable manage.
Yeah.
But you even hear looking at the back, we've got those beautiful white, massive Lee and Lee things just sticking out here. But let's grab
Mr. Tech, actually, question.
Sure.
Now that I have you, so where would you mount this if you were in my position?
So usually what I do, because it's really easy to do the thing here, I would just basically probably just put it right here, and so it's just easy. And I wouldn't even zip it down so that way they can choose. We're gonna, when we boot it up, we'll just change it to white, and then so that way everything will be white, and then we can just show them how to do it. Perfect. With the Lee and Lee Streamer V2s, you don't. This still exists, but you don't use. It's just controlled in software, which is way easier.
Yeah.
So I will say this: motherboard control for these particular ones is terrible. So I have a tendency not to connect the RGB to the motherboard.
Oh, really?
It's brutally bad.
Okay.
I'd use the controller. Yep. I just use that fan, and I mean, yeah. Don't use that. Yeah. Just twist it into your thing. Yep.
Just gonna tuck
Okay.
it
And while you're at that, I'm gonna go ahead and start grabbing your.
Thank you.
Your power supply for you. Here it is, right here. We're getting to the end, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! We're almost to the point where the build is finished. Juan has done a great job, mostly powered by his mustache. Have to say. By the way, Juan, it has been over an hour.
Oh.
You need to determine what is your call sign.
Oh, I was thinking about that, and it was
good because that was a challenge.
It was right in front of our faces, and I couldn't see it.
Stash?
Call sign zip tie.
Zip tie. Oh, I like that.
Good.
That's a good one. Call sign zip tie. Like he basically, if you're in aerial combat, he's going to surround you and trap you and take you down. The zip tie. That's good. I like that. I like that. Okay. So far we're on. God, two great names. That's it. We got turtle and zip tie. Together they're turtle tie. Oh, more zip ties. I'll just put those in there, though. Oh, you do need the PSU screws, though. Yeah. Not that you don't have a bajillion of them over there, but we'll use the ones that it comes with. Do you want some thicker zip ties for the PSU cables, or no?
Yes, I
We'll use these.
I do switch to. Thank you.
The big thick ones.
Yes.
And then Velcro ties. Yeah. So funny because like
are you a Velcro ties person?
No, I'm a zip tie person.
Yeah,
and it's not just me. So I will tell you this. There's a lot of people that come into my chat, but I will tell you every SI, whether that's PJ, Martin, Alex, Chris, now you, Juan, every single one that I've met that is especially at an SI, none of them are Velcro tie.
Yeah.
None. Everybody is team zip tie.
Exactly.
So I haven't, like, if you'd like talk to like professional builders, they're all like, no, that's not a thing.
They do have one purpose though.
Yeah.
They hold a cable that's zip tied together.
Yes, they do. And like I will use them like as part of the spine, like what you did to hide them in there. Those look great. Are you gonna do dual EPS or are you gonna do single EPS? I guess there's only one, so I don't need to do one.
Only really one.
Yeah, the 4 one looks wacky. How many SATA connections? You have 2?
Yeah, I'm gonna need 2 for sure.
Okay, so
a lot of SATA back here.
Okay, so I'll give you 2 of those.
Thank you.
Do you want to? I'm assuming that you want 2 GPU.
Yeah.
Okay. I always ask. Not everybody's the same, and I'm not going to assume because you know what they say about assuming. You end up like Troy. There you go. I think that's all you should need. I think the rest of these are just extra, and we'll put them in the box. You want a Molex cable just for fun? No.
I'll find something to plug in.
Yeah, he's like, we'll just randomly add something to Molex.
Floppy.
What? I'll just be like, I'll be angry. What? Molex. Okay, so now we are at the point where we're now plugging in the PSU. I'd say at this point in time, Justin, just so you know, you probably got 20 minutes.
Okay.
Would you say? What do you think, Juan?
Yeah, maybe 30 or so.
Okay.
This is pretty
3
new
hours.
to me, so I think
okay. So 3 hours left. No, so I'm just giving you a heads up. So in terms of where we are game-wise, these are easy. You just plug the other cables into them.
Well, yeah, the management.
Oh, you're worried about the management. Oh, okay. This is going to be interesting. We'll see what he does with it because they're about as pliable as like iron.
Yeah.
They're pretty much not pliable. He's like, but I want to try and make them look good. So we'll see what he does.
Try.
Okay, so he's getting this plugged in there. How are things? Are you feeling good? How are you feeling about the upcoming tournament at EVO, given what you've practiced here so far?
I'm actually excited, just because I feel like we haven't played like people around the world in like 2 years, right?
Okay.
So I do miss the international talent that I usually get to fight at EVO because that's always been like a very fun part. So I'm hoping to really just like play my best there, and hoping I do good.
And come up with a W?
Maybe, yeah, I would say. But the thing about it is like this year is kind of like my content creator year, I would say. So I've been focusing a lot on just kind of like, getting people to learn how to play fighting games better, or just getting more people interested in fighting games better.
So, but I mean, the other thing too is like, but given that this game is so new, right? And like all in all, you're spending a ton of time practicing. Do you feel like even though this year was your content creator year, that's going to hurt you in terms of being good at this game right now?
Maybe. I would say for Street Fighter 6 and Project L, that's kind of like I'll have a different mindset. But for like now, like this game, like since it's not gonna be at EVO, this is more of just like kind of like a free for all, a game that I would just want to just like play with people because it's like so popular.
Right. So, like a big thing is like we talked about like when you think about when all of the international talent comes. From like all over the world for things like EVO, etc. What is is there a dominant country when it usually comes to fighting games?
Japan. Yeah, Japan is just like the home of just like fighting games in general, where like a random person in a business suit that got off work from like just like their accounting job would just smoke people at the pro level.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So that's a big one. Okay. Nice. And so you're excited just to finally start playing some folks from Japan and stuff like that as well to kind of get those into your rotation.
Yeah, pretty much.
And like even with like the advent of like online gaming and stuff like that, because I mean I know a lot of people like watching League of Legends and stuff like that. They'll actually play on like Korean servers or Chinese servers or whatever it was. Like, do you guys see a lot of Japanese players who play and you get to see in your rotation when you're playing like ranked matches, or no?
So we're not there yet. I would say our netcode is like not there yet, where we can just play anybody around the world. Like I would say more like recently from like this game and Guilty Gear Strive, you're allowed to do stuff like that, which is nice. But most of the time, like it's hard to play against like people from around the world in fighting games just because everything's like so frame specific.
Yeah, and that's probably the biggest thing, right? Is like if anything needs the netcode and the no frame drops and stuff like that, it's these games specifically because they can literally one frame can determine whether something gets won or lost.
Exactly.
So, and I mean, is it still now even good enough to be able to play a game online? Dude, that person's not letting you hit at all.
No, yeah, this is tough.
Is it at a point now like you still feel pretty confident playing online fighting games, or would you still rather play LAN or local? If possible?
LAN and local is always the best, just because of like you don't have to deal with like factors of like online and everything, right?
And then what's a good ping? Like when you think about ping for like when you're really happy, like but like in terms of average for you when you play.
Probably anything under 100 is fine for me.
Okay, and under 100.
Yeah. But I know people are like definitely not fans. They want as low as possible. So I would say kind of like 50 or like 40 is kind of like where people love to play.
Okay, so let's spin it around. Let's show how kind of things are going right now. It's progressing here. There it is right there. So just a little bit of he's working on getting cables flat at this point in time to just kind of hide things out. So that's what we're working on now. This is like it. Like once we're finished with this section, we're pretty much done. It's then it comes like then after that we have him come back. We then basically do the peels because that's a big moment, and then we say goodbye. Now it's time to say goodbye to all our company, but not right now. I just precursor to the song that Justin's going to be singing. We've got like a whole band coming. I think Blackpink's going to be here.
I love Blackpink.
Yeah, I know they're going to come and do backup vocals for Justin. Like Skytech went all out. With
so
today's
good.
show. Now, if people want to come, if people want to join you for that concert you're going to pretty soon, how do they do that, Justin?
Oh, I mean, they gotta get tickets, I guess. But I think it's kind of hard to get those tickets now.
You know who else would be here if Blackpink was here? It would be ZHC. Like that guy would be here in like an instant. That guy's like a huge Lisa fan. I like Blackpink too. Which he's the one who actually introduced it to me. He's like, I got introduced to it here on a mod workshop. Okay, so you're close. So right now, where is it at? Like in terms of your fight, like are you guys even?
If he touches me, I will die. Oh, I think I might be dead. Oh yes, he messed up. Let's go.
Oh, let's go. Use that combo. Oh, never mind. It wasn't this character. Amen. Nope. It wasn't the Amen character. You're gonna do it. They're almost dead.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
See,
oh no.
It's close.
So you're both one hit.
There we go.
Oh, nice! And you even got your animation.
Yeah, I got my animation. He was trying to run the clock even though he was losing, but yeah, my super goes through like full screen.
Well, there we go. Okay, so now it's tied 1-1. Oh no, that was it.
Yeah, I won that set.
Okay, that was like a genuinely like sweaty set.
It was very sweaty. I mean, like at this level where people are playing in the rank matches, it's always going to be all like sweaty sets.
Right. Yeah, no, for sure. I guess at this point, do you think there are other people who are currently in this rotation right now that you're playing that could be practicing Evo like you are?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's a few names that I already fought today that they're already like top placers in the current online tournaments.
Okay. So right. who are some of those people that you know that you've played today that you're like, okay, yeah, I will see this person at Evo?
I don't know them by like face or name. I just know them by their gamer name. So there was like this guy named says Wens Jam. I seen him in like top 3 in a few tournaments already, but I smoked him. But it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we're gonna center up the. There we go, just like that. Okay, and wow, you're like really going at it here.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, guys. There's lots of magical cable management happening, but he's essentially hiding the cables behind the cables, right? So it looks like a single white cable.
Cables on top.
Yeah, big cables on top. So he's working on that right now to hide the. I will say the one thing you're using the stock cables, but one thing that's really nice, I do that a lot with like Asia Horse because the extensions are like really wide, so you can it looks like, oh wow, all of your cables are individually covered, and you're like, yeah, no, they are. It's not true, not true at all. Yes, Justin is getting a new PC, and it is actually pretty beefy. Why don't we actually, let's just talk through the parts real quick. We haven't done that in a while, so for people who don't know what's going to be putting inside of this build, here are the specs that we're going to be having in today's build. First and foremost, we've got an Intel Core i7 12700K. It's got P-cores, E-cores. We got Windows 11 on this. It's going to be absolutely awesome. For our motherboard, we're using the Asus Prime Z690-P Wi-Fi. That means you get Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.1, all the bells and whistles, Thunderbolt, all that stuff. And then Z690 means that you can actually overclock that 12700K should he want to, and with a 360mm AIO, absolutely can on this PC for sure. For SSD, you're getting an Aorus 1TB Gen 4 NVMe SSD, which is great. I mean, that means it's nice, fast access, all that sort of stuff. We've got 5200 megahertz XPG DDR5 RGB, 32 gigabytes, 2x16 there for your RAM. We've got that Skytech Prism 2.0 metallic gear white. So this is the Fantex Prism, but the specific one is the metallic gear white. We've got that Skytech AIO 360mm in white. It's just an Asetek pumped AIO. And then we've got that Cooler Master V850 Gold V2 White Edition, which is actually what we're currently working on right now and getting that installed. And so where we are in the build is we've got the GPU in, motherboard in, all the fans are in. We are at cable management of just the PSU at this point in time. And then lastly, what we're going to do is we're going to lick all the parts so we can make sure that he has our DNA as well. So that's where it's at right now. So, Justin, how are things going over there?
It's good. We're winning. We're winning. That's the most important part.
Are you winning, son?
Yeah, he's winning. The most important thing is that he is winning, and he is winning right now. So we are very, very close to wrapping up the builds and all that sort of stuff right now. And you guys, we're just getting some multiple angles here on the different parts. You can see some of those fans that you guys have, of which we have 9. These are RGB with looks like RGB LEDs on the inside and the outside, so which is actually pretty cool. And then again, all of these fans are controlled via a separate ARGB controller for all the fans that are plugged into the motherboard, or you can actually use a remote, whichever you prefer. And then we just got finished getting those streamers in, and now he's all about getting cables hidden, which is what we're looking on right now. Yeah, these are the Skytech fans. Yeah. Yep, sorry. Oh, and for folks who don't know, we do have a giveaway coming up here pretty soon. So if you want to get on that, head on over to the Intel Twitch channel, enter !play. We're going to be doing marbles because one winner will win this PC, but not this PC. A PC like this that is black, same exact specs. Only thing is, obviously, sans the no Liam Lee streamer cables, but this exact same one. Head on over to and then hit play. We will be playing a game of marbles, and that is how the winner will be chosen. You do need to be present to win, I think is what we're saying here at the end. So make sure you stick around. We've got another 4 to 7 hours before we get to that. Just kidding. No, we're not going to be that one. Juan was like, wait, what?
Imagine.
He's like, man, I'm supposed to go get some Del Taco after this. Like, I have places to be.
I mean, I could play for 6-7 hours.
I know you could. I know you could, Justin. The other thing too is like, I mean, you got to eat too, right? Like, I heard that I got to meet your somebody from your team is here. He's sitting next to you, currently typing on his phone, but he has said that he's going to be taking you out to a super nice dinner tonight.
Oh, damn. Let's
really
go.
excited about this. A very exclusive LA restaurant. So exclusive, we don't know the name of it, but it starts with an M and ends with a Donald's. So it should be.
Dude, I mean, the sweet and sour sauce is goated. You know what I mean?
I mean, if it was spicy nugs, I guess that'd be okay, right? Like nobody's going to argue about getting some spicy nuggets, but you know, it is what going from there.
Yeah, you know what's crazy about sweet and sour sauce is that
I do like sweet and sour.
That it doesn't exist in Japan.
Wait, what?
Yeah, there's only barbecue sauce in Japan and honey mustard. So if you want sweet and sour sauce, like you have to ship it.
It's it's really funny because I lived in Japan for 8 years. That's where I graduated high school in Japan, and it's funny because I remember we had McDonald's that was near ASIJ and obviously on base, but then off base you go to McDonald's and it was completely different. Like the Big Macs and everything tasted very different than they do.
Yep.
So yeah, and it was called the Big Ol' Mackel.
The big what? The big old Mako?
Yeah, so it's dude, Japan, love that country. Such a some of my favorite memories. And I got to take my kids and my family back there. They got to see my high school and all that sort of stuff
nice, that's
back
cool.
then. But it's they were just like, they were blown away.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, they're like just super kind people. And so if you ever get a chance to visit, it sounds like, Justin, you've been there. Juan, you been there?
I have not.
He has not. But
I would like to.
But one thing I wanted to let you know, Skytech promised that you will get to go there next month.
Oh,
so
next month.
next month, you're signed up to go do a
If
trip.
you said it on stream, it must be
Said it
real.
on stream, it must be real. But so yeah, I did learn some Japanese. Believe it or not, I actually took French in Japan because at the time I was like all about, hey, what will be better for my dating life? And I thought French was. I was terrible at learning that language too. And also letting you know, French not too useful in Japan. I just want to make it as an FYI. So going from there, but yeah, it was really like Japan. And so it's, how many times have you been, Justin?
Oh, usually before the pandemic, every year.
Okay.
Yeah, every year, just because the fighting game scene is like so popular there, and there's so many events like Tokyo Game Show that like anytime there's an opportunity for me to go to Japan, I'm like, yes, give it to me now, type of thing.
People are like doing French, je suis un pizza. I will say this. So currently, my sister, my wife, and I have Fuji booked. We're going to go summit Fuji. So I'm summiting 3 mountains this year. So I'm doing Rainier next week, and then I have Adams. 4 Helens, and then we're going to do Fuji in September. Hopefully, at that point in time, hoping the borders are open so we can go do that. So we will be visiting. We'll be hanging out in Tokyo in September. Hopefully,
nice. Okay.
if things go the way that they are. But yeah, no. So that should be super cool. I live in Seattle. For people who don't know, I'm not based here in California. I'm actually based out of Seattle. So I do like Washington because that's where I live.
California?
Yeah. California is nice. I'm here every week, so you kind of get used to it. But yeah, no, it's I like California a lot. I mean, again, E3 is here. I used to come here all the time for E3. Obviously, being a game developer for 20 years, this was TGS. I've got to go to obviously as well. And then it's been a good time. So. Look, I like all the other the Pacific Northwesterners, right? And even in some regards, I would say even Justin fits in the Pacific Northwest because he's just like 3 hours north from me up in Vancouver.
Yep.
So yeah, so he's still I'd still consider him Pacific Northwestern, even though he's like a Pacific Southwesterner in Canada. I guess because it's only the Southwest. It's like the southwest corner of the country. So.
I'm everywhere, usually because I was born in New York, moved to California, moved to Vegas, and I'm now Vancouver.
Yeah, so he's everywhere. He's an international man of mystery, even though he's not really mysterious, but we can hope. Man, that is a fast-moving cargo boat that was back behind you there for a second. I was like, man, if there was a cargo boat that was really that fast, then a lot of people would die.
2-day shipping.
Yeah, that's what we need. We need Wong lore. Well, right now we're still working on Wong mullet. So like we've been slowly growing that. I don't think it'll be done by the end of the stream. I mean, I know it's been a pretty long stream, but I don't think it'll be finished by the end of the stream. But I don't know what they mean. What do they mean by Wong lore? Like you have to come up with a backstory?
I suppose.
Yeah. Okay. So Wong. So right now, what we know is, for those of you who don't know, Wong actually has a pretty interesting story. Let me tell you a little bit about it. So we just got finished doing his call sign, but little do you know, Wong grew up as a naval kid out of Hawaii. His parents, his dad actually rescued his family. He was running from a war-torn country in Western Africa. And his parents saved him from a sinking battleship that was currently traversing the ocean. Now, once he got up there and actually rescuing his family at the ripe age of 3, he ended up becoming a secret agent and used that to first learn how to build PCs for the NSA, building one of the most powerful code-breaking PCs. And then since then, once he kind of like was released because government funding fell through. That's when Skytech Gaming found him, picked him up, and then used his skills to help build PCs for you
Nice.
every single day. So that is the story of Wong and what he was able to do, and now how he is here today building a PC for Justin, but also secretly infusing code because Justin is also a secret agent, double agent for Canada and their potential invasion of the United States later in the year. But you did not hear that here. So that's where it is. So that's where it is. That's the movie he's currently working on selling the movie rights to Netflix. It's It's going to be super interesting. I think, wasn't it that you said the kid from Stranger Things?
Yeah.
The guy who plays Billy could potentially play, could be playing Juan. But yeah, it's going in there.
Yeah,
But,
we couldn't get Finn.
we couldn't get Finn.
Oh no.
Sounds like a new time. Yeah, it's like I don't know if you know this, but actually the show Reacher is based a lot on Juan's dad. That's where Juan's dad was the guy who was where Reacher came from. So yeah, that's where it is, and that's what that's the story, and I'm sticking to it. What do you think, Juan?
Yeah, pretty accurate.
Nailed it, right? Yeah,
Yep.
like I just got I got to spend some time.
How do you
with
know so much?
I spent some time with you early on, and I called your parents, and they're very kind, sharing all that information with you. We have a lot of dead zip ties, by the way, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of zip ties have died. The making of this of it. We are currently, remember, prediction is still open. So we're gonna be letting you know if it's positive, negative, or even or odd for there. How's the cable manager? Oh, you're doing pretty good.
Thank you.
Are you? They're kind of a pain to work around.
Yeah, it's I'm trying something.
Yeah, you're trying something. He's basically, look at this. I'm just gonna say, amen. Right, like there it is. He's building like a little cross in the back in honor of your combo streak that you were able to do back here, Justin. So,
while you were talking, I was able to get to the next rank, so I'm actually pretty excited about that.
Hey, there we go. Can we get some hype in the chat? All sorts of stuff going on here. This. I will say, like outside of last week, which was not going that well. We had Aussie Antics, who was on the show, and then the week before that, she was awesome, and she ended up climbing the tower in Final Fantasy. And point being is we had all these people accomplish things they didn't think was possible while playing here on the show. So I'm just saying, Justin, you are continuing that streak.
Oh, I have to be a tryhard.
You do, and
right?
I'm proud
I have to be a tryhard. I gotta
you.
make sure that everyone's like, okay, like, is he actually good at this game?
Is he actually good? I will let you know you are better than me. Is he better than you, Juan?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so yeah. I think one of the Skytech people said that they could beat you though. So they're going to be throwing down.
Give me that call out.
Yeah, so calling you out on that, just saying like, hey, he said, and I quote, noob. I was like, whoa.
Like, what a scrub.
What a scrub.
Yeah, he was telling me earlier this morning, like, oh, I could take that guy.
So if you guys want to stick around for the post-stream, post-stream entertainment, it's going to be Skytech Gaming versus Justin Wong here on the main stage for $50,000.
Damn, that's a bigger prize than most of our tournaments.
He is betting his whole year's salary on this match.
No, it's your raise. He's betting your raise.
Oh, Jimmy, please.
It's going to be incredible when it's all said and done. So we're what do you think time-wise? We're getting pretty close.
Yeah,
I see what you're doing. Oh, you're just going to make it here.
I think I like it.
Yeah, he likes that idea. He's like, whatever your idea was, Robey, I'm going to do the opposite of it.
I was trying to incorporate it.
No, but I like that. Actually, it's better.
Oh.
Yeah. We'll deal with that. We'll make sure. What game is this? Somebody asked from chat.
Oh, this is DNF Duel.
Okay, DNF Duel, guys. That's what he's currently playing. Biggest money match, my entire salary. So some people are saying really excited about this $50,000 match coming up that we just made up right now. If you lose, so somebody said if you lose, if the Skytech gentleman loses, then his desk gets moved to the bathroom.
You know, funny you mentioned that. Our studio is across from the bathroom, so we kind of get some foot traffic there.
Oh, there you go. People are like, oh, what's going on over there? Oh, like what's going on?
Yeah. You know, every once in a while, someone will come by, and I'll just be like, hey, good luck.
Did somebody steal your stapler, though? Like, have you seen my stapler? And I told them if this is my red swing line stapler, and if they take it from me, so if you've never seen Office Space, still pretty awesome. So if people want to check out, like, what are some of the other chassis that you have options for Skytech PCs? Because that's one thing we've seen this one, and this is probably one of your more higher end SKUs. What are some other cases that are popular on the site?
So also from Fantex, we have the NeoCube Air, which is more of a traditional style case. It's more of a mesh front, glass side panel, solid back type case. Okay. Very traditional, but also very roomy, very sleek. That one is known as the Blaze 3.0.
Okay.
Or if you get custom order, then just a NeoCube Air or Neo Air. We also have for our custom orders, we have the P500A.
Oh, I love that case.
Yeah.
Probably, if you ever want to get into PC building, P500A is one of the easiest cases to just build in.
Awesome case.
It's such a great case. So, okay, P500A.
Yeah, P500A. We also have, we work a lot with Gamdias.
Okay.
They provide a lot of our cases. We have what's called the Chronos. That is from low end, from like kind of mid-range builds all the way to high end. Again, more traditional kind of mesh front.
Yeah.
We like to call it the gamer's nexusification of PCs.
Okay.
You know, we like that mesh. We like that it's very breathable.
So good temps, all that sort of stuff.
Good temps, yeah. We have a couple cases from Gamdias. They're not as well known, I don't think, but yeah, they're still pretty quality. We also have for custom builds. Oh man, you really put me on the spot.
This is what you trained for, Juan.
Yeah,
this is the moment.
This is the
moment. This is it right there. This is like all it takes. So really think of it like, picture this, like right here. There's a thermometer, and at the top is the maximum amount of raise. But the more you say it just starts to drop down. It starts to drop down. So
it's going to be 50 cents by the end of this. We also have the Asus Helios.
Oh,
big boy,
yes. Yeah, we just got finished doing the Evangelion build in that. Yeah.
I bet that was nice.
Oh, it was fun. It was awesome. Yeah, that was a good build.
Yeah. And then I believe... you know, that's all the ones I can think of at the moment.
Well, those are pretty good. Yeah, I mean, those are all lots of people have lots of options to choose from. Should you want to go and choose a case from there? Any sales, anything like that going on right now? Do they have the Wong sale?
The Wong.
Use code Wong at checkout for 10% off. No, just kidding.
We have weekly
Use
promos.
Wong Mullet. Yeah, that's what it is.
We usually have weekly promos that we call deals of the week. Off the top, I'm not exactly sure which ones are on sale this week, but that usually goes on weekly. And then we will be having Prime Day sales. Yeah, so that's going to be our Prism 2 bestseller, a Chronos, and a Chronos Mini on sale.
Okay.
Yeah, so be on the lookout for that if you are looking for a new system.
Okay, so we only have like what, two more cables to plug in. Mm-hmm. So we're getting super close to actually having him come back here pretty soon. So what do you think? Time-wise, like 5-10 minutes probably?
I was 15.
Wow, 15. Okay. This tells you something, guys.
I want to take my time.
This is how much cable managed we're talking about. It's like every time I'm like, what do you think? 3-4 minutes? He's like, nope, 2.5 hours. But you know what Justin's thinking right now? Justin's thinking, you know what? Honestly, I'm just sitting here training, playing, practicing, and all that sort of stuff. So now that we're getting super close, let's run through the specs one more time inside of the build, because it's been a while and we want to talk about that stuff. So inside of our PC right now, we've got an Intel Core i7-12700K. This is the unlocked SKU as well, which is why we're putting this inside of the Asus Prime Z690-P Wi-Fi motherboard, so we can do things like overclocking. Again, with a 360mm I/O, like the Skytech AIO, that is definitely something that you are more than capable of doing and being able to overclock in. For our graphics card, we've got the Gigabyte GeForce RTX 3080 Ti. This is the 12 gig edition, there's only one edition. There's a 12 gig of the 3080. I forgot. We've got 1 terabyte Aorus 1 terabyte NVMe Gen 4 SSD. We've got 5200 megahertz, 32 gigs of XPG DDR5 RGB RAM. We've got the Skytech Prism 2.0 made by Fantex, metallic gear in white. And then finally, your power supply, you've got the Cooler Master V850 Gold V2 White Edition PSU, and then we've got the Lee & Lee streamer cables. So that is what we're putting inside of Justin Wong's PC, and the same parts that are similar that will also be inside of the PC that we are going to be giving away at the end. But guys, what we're going to do right now is we're going to take a quick 8-minute break, and then we will be back, coming back, and at that point in time, we should be pretty close to having Justin pop on over, get this build turned on, and go from there. So we'll see you guys in 8 minutes. See you guys in just a bit.
I've spent the last 10 years always being told by doctors, hey, after this next procedure, everything's gonna go back to normal. You're gonna be normal, you're gonna have a normal life. For this, I get tickets, I fly here. I'm gonna finally be able to do one of my greatest passions, which is go to the International, go see Dota 2. It's ecstatic.
My name is Dor Shabtai. I go by Kidde online, and I love Dota. I've been playing it for nearly half my life. I was born in Israel. 12 years later, my parents divorced. My mom took me and my sister to America, so we moved there. I lived in Arizona for about 14 years, and last year on the 1st of January 2020, I did an aliyah back to Israel. I'm living there now by myself. When I was growing up, caring about your education was super important, so that was essentially my life, and I put a lot of effort into it. Got very good scholarships for school. I was studying to be a mechanical engineer. It was very stressful. I started to notice blood when I would go to the bathroom, and it progressed. And that was essentially the beginning of 10 years of being fairly miserable and in pain. I've been playing Dota since Warcraft 3. At the moment, I'm a 6K MMR on the dot, over 18,000 hours in Dota. 18,000 hours is an obscene amount, and that is not necessarily by choice. I've spent a lot of time in the hospital bed, and when my family wasn't there, when my girlfriend at the time wasn't there, I had Dota, and that kept my mind off of the pain and focused on the game. My girlfriend at the time, Sarah, she got tickets to TI5. I mean, she's like, we're going to Seattle, and you're going to the International. And I was like, what? The experience itself was just amazing. I got to actually hang out with Universe's dad. I met him by complete chance. It was the finals where Universe got the $6 million Echo Slam on Earthshaker at the Roche Pit fight.
Here comes the Ice Blast, ready for the dog! In from Universe! It's a disaster! CDEC! They're going to get one for the fate of the earth, apart from aggressive. He'll jump out!
The energy in the arena at the time was just mind-boggling. And the experience as a whole was one of my most memorable. It was the first time in nearly half a decade that I got to feel like a normal person. Your life's not over, the world's not ending. You'll make it through this and you'll be able to experience more of this in the future. This year's probably the only TI that I'll be able to attend for a very long time. And it's not just happening in Bucharest, it's happening in Arena Națională. We're currently sitting 200 meters away from in my grandparents' home. I don't have the financial stability or capacity to travel and rent out a room in a hotel for a couple of days or weeks and pay for food and all that kind of stuff. This was easily the most fortunate of circumstances.
And I posted a picture saying, the banners are up, it's happening. Literally 18 hours later, I wake up to find out that the event is canceled for the general public. And it just crushed me. I'm just scrolling through Reddit trying to see if there's any other similar reactions, but there was one that caught my eye. It was this event.
Thank you very much, Sumi. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the grand finals of the International 10. Team Spirit up against PSG LGD Insania. It's a pleasure to have you by my side once again.
My name is Ivan Perner, but my handle is Chednar. I knew I was going to TI. I didn't hope for it, I knew I was going to it. And then suddenly the news hit me that it was cancelled. I said like, okay, I'm not gonna give up yet. I decided to make the most out of the situation, make something positive out of it.
I'm Jay, I'm the CEO of OG Esports. And I saw a kid saying, hey, we're putting this together, I'm thinking of doing this. And I messaged him and I said, dude, that's amazing. Yeah, we would love to help you and participate. And obviously we would like to come as well, you know?
OG is my favorite team in Dota 2. When your favorite team contacts you and tells you, I love your idea, I love the initiative, I love the passion behind it. It's amazing.
The song ends, Toronto, Tokyo, BKB up, jump over with the remnant, grabs back the Ursa, Arme disappears in a matter of seconds, GQ to fall as well, GG is called, and my goodness, what a buttery smooth start to the grand finals here for Team Spirit.
Now, I love this for exactly what you're doing. You can hear them chant, you can hear small orgs and small teams with no orgs. Having people like this is amazing. For us, I think Dota was a grassroots community, and it started because of it, because fans were very passionate. So shout out to everybody that continued to participate and that loves this game as much as we love it.
We ended up coming here about a week before the main stage game started, and we got it working. Everyone's vaccinated. We're making sure that people show proof of vaccination. At this point, we're just enjoying the finals. The grand finals are currently ongoing. I'm looking forward to getting back in there.
Collapse going to TP out, but it's not going to happen. Collapse will go down, and that fight doesn't work. Toronto, Tokyo pulled back in, refraction gone. The chase down happens yet again. Mira hoping to salvage this, but it's not going to happen one by one. All of Spirit go by the wayside. They all fall again as GG is called 23-3. A statement from LGD.
Thank you very much, Sumi. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the deciding Game 5 here at the TI-10 Grand Finals. Team Spirit against PSG LGD.
He's going to have to spend gold on games next region.
They're going for him early on here with the three of them. Slider Fist comes out as they're looking to turn on, and nothing to say. They get him. Jump forward with the remnant. He's looking for more. Toronto Tokyo in with the chains. Onto both Y and Arme. Arme goes down. They can taste the championship. They can taste somebody with the backdoor protection kicks in. The backdoor protection is in. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. But Spirit, they're going to chase on. Slight chase. Arme is gone. Can they stop a PSG LGD? I don't think they can. GQ's got it. It's over. GG. It's over. GG. They've got it. They have got it. Team Spirit. They go into the grand finals. 2 games straight up. They take away from PSG LGD. Game 3, Game 4. PSG LGD, they hit back. But the Game 5, even though they get knocked.
It's not the same from being in a crowd of thousands or tens of thousands. Here, you actually get to make connections with people. So I've met dozens of people that I'm sure that I will play with online very frequently, and I will talk with for years to come. All these other people that are here that essentially I know by name now that I never would have run to these people had I been in the arena. And most people say, I went to TI. It's another story when you say TI was canceled, we still made TI happen.
Now that at least in Israel things are slowly opening back up and physically I'm getting a bit better, I thought to myself, well, I'm going to be going around, I'll be going to school, and afterwards maybe I'll go over to friends' houses and play with them. I needed something portable because up until now I've literally been lugging around my PC. I looked around and I found the Triton 500 SC. I can run Dota anywhere. Maximum settings, no problems whatsoever. But it's also allowed me a chance to revisit some games that I used to play on my home PC. I reinstalled and I'm thoroughly enjoying all over again Metro Exodus and Doom Eternal and all these kind of games that now I can actually utilize RTX on. Lighting effects and the textures and the reflections on water surfaces, it is just absolutely breathtaking.
Well, you haven't been here since I think that we left to the United States, which was in 2005.
It's a long time ago.
I know. We have pictures somewhere up in the mountain. It was really snowy, and I have pictures of you. You were like all bundled up and barely moving.
What's the movie with the kid?
Christmas Story.
Yeah, Christmas Story, where the little kid is just...
This is one of our traditions. Every year we watch the Christmas Story before Christmas.
Without my family, there's no way that I would be here right now. And also, other than the physical aid, obviously, the mental and emotional support of them, just being around me and holding my hand. My mom, my dad, and my step-parents as well. my 2 brothers, my little sister, and obviously my grandparents, of course. There's no one like family that you could do that with. And obviously all my Dota friends as well. You know, even outside of immediate family, these people have spent so much time with me over the last decade. These people that I've met thanks to this game. It was a culmination of all these things that essentially brought me to where I am today. I wouldn't be here without all of these things combined. For the first time in a long time, I feel like a normal, happy, fairly healthy person.
What is up, guys? The build is done. See, amen. See, he made it.
Amen.
Amen. There it is right there. What do you guys think of the cable management? There it is right there. It's in the back. So he did a really good job.
Thank you.
And it's like angular and like all that sort of stuff. But there is the completed build ready for us to plug in and test. So let's plug it in before we put everything else back on it, because what we're going to do is we're going to change the streamer colors to white so then everything else matches. And then we'll unplug it and go from there. Do we have a power plug? We do, right here. This is where you, I guess they give us another one down there, but this is where you get to do the work. Justin, you get to plug this in. He's still over here like he's fiddling.
Yeah.
Which is what I do. Like it's so funny if you watch the end of the streams when I'm normally here, like I'm the guy doing the same thing. Okay, there you go. So you want to plug that in down there. There we go. You passed the test. You are allowed to own the PC.
Nice. Put it in?
Yep, just put it in right there. And then hit the other way. Yep, sorry. There you go. And we're going to push this button right here. Okay, and then power button is on the front.
Mm-hmm. And it should, if it does power on, it should take a second.
Dun, 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 dun,
Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so we didn't get power, which is fine. Let's just verify that we actually have the power switch in the right place. It's usually the first thing if it came loose or anything like that. Oopsie. Because it should have come on. And no, it works because we tested it beforehand.
Did I break it?
No. Well, the power switch is in the right place. I'm going to flip it over because sometimes this does do stuff that's wacky. Just real quick. Okay, let's try it one more time. There you go. Hit the button one more time. Oh, is the power bar on? Yeah, no, the power bar's on. Okay, so I do know this all works because I tested it beforehand. Like, so we do know something. So something is not good, but I do know this works because we actually test fitted it and basically made it run. So I'm gonna just to try for the sake of it. Let's just try and jump it.
Oh, I found the issue.
Oh, he found the issue.
Yeah.
Guys, we found the issue. It's not plugged in.
Yeah, one of the things came loose.
This is what it is. Always checking the connections. He was so cable managed, it became unplugged.
No, I yanked the cord. You know what I mean? The sabotage.
By the way, this is a test, and he gets a raise. Oh, is it really? You having a hard time.
It's the one behind the front one.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's getting it plugged in.
Yeah, so it's this smaller one that came loose.
Okay, so he's currently fixing it. While you're at it, I've got the eye of the tiger. It's the queen.
So what's really cool was like while I was playing over there,
right?
I was able to get to my next level. So I was at Terror Knight for the longest time, just because I don't really have too much time and I rotate so many games. And I was able to get to the next status, which is legend status.
Okay.
And then from there, now it's like a grind to get to like first place of the legend status.
And then that's like the top. You're at the top tier at this point. Now you're just grinding to 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Hit the power again. Here we go.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Look how pretty it is.
Look at how pretty it is. There it is right there.
It's a disco.
Yeah, it's a disco for sure. So as it's set now, is the controls for it on? Are they on motherboard or are they on for the remote?
They should be. Sometimes it'll auto detect and go straight to motherboard. Sometimes it'll stay on controller on its own.
Okay. So here we go.
Yeah.
We'll do this here in a second. But what we're going to do, this is the controller for your RGB.
Okay.
What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and set these to the right color. Slow it down. There we go. We hit this button. It's always the fun part.
The individual colors.
There's white,
the white.
and then we'll hopefully, we're going to just get it all to white for now. It should, we may not get a post, but I mean, it is posted. I do know that. There we go. There's your all white. And then once we get the OS, once we can just press F1, but then the OS itself will actually, because we put a new CPU in, it's waiting for somebody to just hit
F1.
F1. And then it goes. Okay, so let's turn it off. Turn it back on. Turn it off. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to put all of the case parts back on because you just want to make sure we get our colors set to go from there. So we're going to shut it down.
Yeah, I like how there's like a remote control for the RGB.
Yeah,
that's
so that
really
way you
nice.
have complete control.
Nice.
So
what's like kind of the colors that you like to go for?
I usually like when in white cases, if I'm not going to do RGB puke, I have a tendency to go white. Also, ice blue looks really good in white cases, which looks really nice. And then purple is another one that is also
Purple's
very,
pretty
very
popular. Yeah.
Yep. Wait, so here I'll hand some of this stuff to you. There we go. We'll start putting parts back together. First, we'll start with the back. Here we go, right here. Okay, there it is. Okay, there it is.
Oh, we forgot the.
Oh yeah, he's got to do that first. Try not to drop things. There it is. Okay. And then here's your 2 screws for that.
Thank you.
You need the long one?
Yeah.
See, the master screwdriver does not forget.
Yes. Yeah, good job.
Yeah.
You're nailing it. And the best part about it is with the way that he cable managed, like you wouldn't even, it'll even look more cable managed because now you can't even see anything.
Now you can't see it.
Yeah, this is something, like I said, I am terrible at cable management, but my wife appreciates all of that.
Right, yeah. So she'll be like, and you can just tell her because you built a large portion of this PC, like, yeah,
I did it.
I did all of this.
Like, you proud of me? You proud of me?
That's what I expect you to say.
I mean, I would say that's kind of hard because she was texting me saying, I'm watching.
Oh yeah, he's showing you the cable. So here we go. We'll show you the cable management. See, you can see like there's nothing there. You can actually see like almost
that's
nothing.
pretty.
Yeah. So again, it looks really, really clean. Now we're just gonna put the cover on. So like even better, like then he puts the cover on, and then now you can't see it even less. And then guys, also we're getting very close to the giveaway now. So what we're gonna do now is make sure that you head over to twitch.tv/Intel. Hit that exclamation point play button, exclamation point play in chat, so that way you can be entered to win. Okay, so now we're gonna put the glass on. And go over to that chat and hit exclamation point play. Here, I'll let you do that because I've got one other one in my hand.
I was like, bam, we're such a pro. One-handed too?
Yeah, I was going to, but then I was like, you know what? The one thing I also don't want to do is then break it after your. It's like, oh yeah, remember when that PC and then we had to like replace the panel because Robey was being cocky.
Content. Think about the
content. Okay, there you go. Okay, so and then we'll go ahead and pop that on the top. We'll let you do the last one. See the little holes that it goes into.
Yep.
And then, yeah, give it a I don't know if they're in. They're not in. Not quite in. There you go. Now push it. Now you can just screw those in. And then we got to do the peels. This is like the big moment. Now, while we're waiting for that, I just want to count for the people curious. Did we use an odd or even number of zip ties? We used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13,
that's a lot of zip
14,
ties.
15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. It was odd. Odd number of zip ties today, guys. Odd. 23 zip ties used and killed in today's battle with the PC case. So now we'll start prepping to get everything finished.
I don't think it's in.
There you go.
Oh, there we go.
So your snips. Okay. And then we'll just clear off the table altogether. Getting all the tools out so we can turn on the PC. Let's pull the Lazy Susan. Here, I'll lift and then you can pull the Susan. There's our build. One more time. Hit that power button, sir.
Boom.
Okay, so we're going to start over here. You're going to start in this corner. You're going to peel this way for this camera. There we go. 3, 2. Do it slow. People don't want to be disappointed. Nice. Okay, now go ahead and head to the front. And I'm going to start here. Start right here. Pull that corner, and then you're just going to peel that way for this camera right here.
Okay.
There you go.
Ta-da!
Boom. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful PC. And there it is right there, guys, the entire PC. Now, again, when we press F1 and then we get into an OS, it'll all be white. So we'll make sure before we get the pictures and stuff out there. But there you guys get to see the absolutely clean PC. OS installed, cable managed to the 9s. Thank you very much, Wong, for that. We got everything prepared, ready to go, plug and play with these incredible parts put together from Skytech. But this is not it. Not only did we get finished building this PC for Justin, but now is your chance to potentially walk away with one of these PCs. So we're going to bring up the game here. So make sure that you head over to twitch.tv/Intel and head over to twitch.tv/Intel. Make sure you hit that exclamation point play. We're going to be playing a game of marbles. And then if your name is the one that crosses the finish line,
yep.
You win this PC.
Man, that is
And a hug
crazy.
from Justin.
Yeah, that's crazy. If you guys go to Evo, I'll give you a hug for sure.
Now, you might wonder, what PC am I going to get, Robey? And that would be a good question. So let's talk you through the parts that we're going to be putting in this PC. It's going to be black, though. But it's Intel. You get an Intel Core i7-12700K. You get an Asus Prime Z690 Wi-Fi motherboard or a Z690 board of some sort, right? You get a Gigabyte or a GeForce RTX 3080 Ti. You get a 1 terabyte NVMe SSD at Gen 4. You do get DDR5 RGB RAM, 3200 megahertz, 3200 gigs. You're going to have the Skytech Prism 2.0 metallic gear in black. And then you've got a Skytech black 360 millimeter AIO. And then you've probably got a 850 watt PSU of some sort. There's some different changes in terms of that, because to make the hardware look better with black. So those are the parts you're going to be in to win. So we're going to getting that set up right now. We get to see it at the same time as you. We do not know who won. This is not rigged.
It's not rigged.
This is not rigged. This is like getting legend status in
Duel.
Yeah, same thing for you. Somebody's going to walk away. Somebody's going to get to walk away with a free PC today. Not just Justin, but you had to work for it. You did have to work for it.
I did. Everyone else had to. I mean, they've been working. They've been watching from start to finish, right? So that counts too.
Yeah. Also, guys, before you enter, if you're like 13 or you're in Zimbabwe or anything like that, you do need to make sure that you check terms and conditions before you enter to win, because you could be ineligible. And I'm sorry, hopes and dreams unfortunately don't break legal. Lawyers seem to feed in hopes and dreams. So make sure that you get you go check that out, and make sure you're over at twitch.tv/Intel. You don't need to do it over at Robeytech or at or over on Justin's channel or over at Skytech's channel. You do need to be over at twitch.tv/Intel. Are we ready? And then Alston and Tomber, please get out of the giveaway. You are not eligible to win. So just because Will is a better cameraman than you are, don't be that guy. So there it is, guys. Okay, are we ready? 10-second countdown.
I'm excited to watch this.
10. Maybe I'm not supposed to count down. Another yelling. Okay, here we go. Ooh, I've never seen this before. Have you done this before?
I've done this.
Oh, you have? I've never done this before.
I've done this a lot of times on my streams
10,
a long time ago.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Who's gonna win? Oh, never mind. We're gonna count again. Apparently, they were really worried I wasn't gonna be able to count down.
Your last seconds to join.
Yeah, last second to join, guys. Look at all those marbles.
It's a lot of marbles. So this is pretty chaotic. This is literally RNG, right, at its finest. But you see how there's other colors of marbles?
Oh.
Yeah, those are people that just been playing the game for a long time. Oh my God, Field stinks. 12? Wait.
Whoa, it's not over yet.
Yeah, it's going super fast.
This marble thing takes forever.
Yeah, you can actually die too. So all these people are you seeing flung into space? They're actually dying.
Who won?
Scorpius
84. Scorpius 84. So you have control?
No, you don't have control.
Oh, you don't. Okay, so Scorpius 84, you are the winner of a Skytech PC. Congratulations. And you get a hug from Justin.
Let's go.
That's not true. You don't get a hug.
I mean, he's Scorpius 84. That means he's probably born in 1984. We're like 80 babies.
Yeah, like 80 babies right there, right? So you guys probably do get to go. Somebody says rigged. Of course it's rigged because you didn't win. Anyway, guys, this is it. That is our show for tonight. I hope you guys had a good time. Justin, if people want to tune in, people want to watch, people want to get more of you, they want to get more Justin, how do they do so?
You can go to twitch.tv/jwong with 3Gs, twitter.com/jwong with 3Gs, and you could just put my name on Justin Wong on YouTube, and you'll see my channel as the first one that pops up.
And remember, guys, we're 5G now, but when he made his channel, it was 3G at the time. So
it comes down to it. Sometimes I do get 3G internet across international countries, so it just be like that.
It still works.
It's the good old reliable, right? Turtle.
Okay, and Ron, where do they find you? Just kidding. Juan, tell us a little bit. If people want to hook up with Skytech or check out Skytech or anything like that, how do they do so?
We have a lot of channels that you can find us at. We stream every day not every day, Tuesday through Friday at twitch.tv/Skytech Gaming Official. We do live PC builds twice a week. And then we sell PCs at skytechgaming.com.
Well, there you go, guys. And definitely make sure that you check them out. They're absolutely awesome. It's been really cool. So you got to hear a little bit about the options you have, a lot of choices from Fantex, plus other cases as well. So check them out, skytechgaming.com. Super appreciate Intel, Skytech Gaming, Justin, obviously, for being here as well. This has been it. We have another show next week. All shows all week. Everybody over here is like, oh, but so much more content to come. Super appreciate you guys. Look forward to seeing you guys on the next episode. Have a good night. Bye, guys.
Bye.